Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome back to day two. Let's see, how many of you are back? 300. Awesome. I think there was like 350 people. So almost, we got a good amount of people that came back for day two, and I am so proud of you. Thank you for taking the time to do this. I promise to make it worth your while. Okay, so yesterday there was a lot of new information, right? We talked about the hippocampus, we talked about the pleasure and pain signals. I showed you yet again how good I am at technology. And you also learned how, in order to sever the ties to emotional eating and food cravings forever, you have to interrupt the 12 different signals, right? We talked about the different types of trauma and how trauma shows up on your body as extra weight. And I showed you how to sever one of the ties to your emotional eating habits and turn off the food noise, just like Ozempic does. Okay, so I want to hear from you. I want to know how that was for you. Like I was saying before, sometimes the tapping has a spillover effect. So there was a lot of people that had amazing results. You went from a 10 to a 0 from just one round of the tapping yesterday. And then some of you that had a challenge with it, right? Like B and Joanne had a challenge with it. So I want to know what happened for you. Did it have a spillover effect? Did you maybe notice that you snacked less? Maybe you didn't crave that sugar after dinner. Maybe you just ate less overall. Or the opposite could have happened. The tapping could have triggered you in some way, and you could have ended up eating even more. See, there's no right or wrong answer here. So I just want to hear from you what your experience was. Okay. Let's see. Last night I was struggling with not feeling hungry or not wanting to eat, but still feeling the need or the drive to eat. Not sure if it was boredom, anxiety, or habit. Okay, great. That's a great experience. Carolyn, what I want you to notice is that that was new. That was a new behavior from what I'm understanding. That was a new behavior. So it shifted, and now this is what you shifted into, right? So there's something else to address here. Um, let's see. Walked on the treadmill instead of eating candy in the evening. Awesome, Lisa. Let's see. Sheila said, I did more tapping and it helped for a while, but by the end of the day, I gave into cravings. Okay, cool. Anna said, I was rebelling and wanted to snack. If you have a habit that you can't fix, keep tapping. Oh, um, let's see. Nikki said, I've stopped overeating. Awesome. Let's see. I was challenged and did have 2 bowls of cereal as a snack. Okay. Jeanne says, I didn't crave anything last night. Awesome. Um, let's see. Yes, you guys will get a replay. Just give us a little bit of time. Um, Oh, this is cool. Martha said, I didn't think I was affected at all. I felt no response at the time, but then this morning I felt an unusual feeling of peace and no food noise right now. Cool, Martha. Thank you so much for sharing that. Um, yeah, absolutely. That is, yeah, everybody responds differently. I mean, most people respond in the same way. But everybody, has a slight variation for, to what they are experiencing. You have a gift for this. The techniques you've discovered are so powerful. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate it. Cravings were insane. I ate uncontrollably. I hardly ate anything. Uh, great. Okay. I ate more, didn't eat very much. Okay. So it looks like we're pretty divided. Like a lot of you had a lot of success, and then some of you just got like even more triggered. So like I said, there's no right or wrong answer here. I wanted smaller portions. No muffin this morning. Awesome, Jackie. Less snacking, but I felt guilty and I still had to do dinner later. I wonder what the guilt was about, Katrina. I felt tired and I had a headache. Yeah, Deborah, that can happen when we clear. If you had a strong emotional reaction to yesterday, when we heal and we clear out old subconscious programming that we've been storing in our body for a long time, it's kind of like you're carrying around this backpack of like emotional weight. And when you take that backpack off, you are exhausted because you didn't realize how long you've been carrying this backpack on. And so your body needs to like recover and replenish, just like you've had a really long workout. Laura said, I had no sugar cravings at all. Milda said, I had a tasty dinner and tapped instead of snacking. Awesome. So exhausted after our session yesterday. I fell asleep for 9 hours. Ooh, Julia, I love those 9 hour sleeps. Oh my goodness. I had one 2 nights ago and it was the best. No late night snacking. I've eaten less and have had no sweets since day one of the 7-day program I'm currently taking. Awesome, Patty. Okay, Pamela said, bad night, ate everything. We have all been there. I ate a big salad the first in 3 months. Cool. Okay, awesome. Thank you for the feedback. I wish I could read all the comments right now, but then we would be doing that all day. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about self-sabotage because those of you that didn't get results yesterday or you're feeling even more triggered, today is especially for you. But truly, all of us struggle with self-sabotage. So even if you had amazing results yesterday, and even if you're like, oh my God, my cravings, everything, self-sabotage affects us in different ways. Okay. And I just want to point something out here because, some of you guys are feeling really good right now, right? You had a lot of you may have had a lot of success. You probably had a lot of aha moments yesterday. And let me just tell you, especially for those of you that are in my 6-week program, the very best thing that you could do for yourself right now is to keep working with me. Because what happens after this is you get out of this workshop and you're going to start to do this work yourself. You've probably experienced this when you bought the 6-week program, and something happens. You get stuck, you get confused, your saboteur comes up to the surface, and all of a sudden, you don't know what to do. And you spiral into days and weeks where you lose that momentum and you lose motivation, right? Who's experienced this? Who's experienced this? Type me in the chat. See, that's the reality. So we're going to go deep into self-sabotage today, but I'm telling you this because I want you to know what to expect after this. I have been doing this for more than a decade. There has never been a problem that I haven't seen, and there has never been anyone that I haven't been able to help with this problem. Truly, God's truth, there has never been anyone that I haven't been able to help. Okay, so yesterday you learned that there's 12 signals that are causing you to make your brain want to eat when you're not really hungry. Okay, so today's going to be really interactive, right? Because we don't have slides, so I want feedback from you. So if that's true, what are these 12 signals doing? Okay, I'm going to go down to the chat. So if these 12 signals are causing your brain to make you eat when you're not really hungry, what are these 12 signals doing? Yeah, Sharni says protecting me, sabotaging us, triggering, filling in for love, comfort, sabotage, acting as a trigger. They're trying to comfort us in the moment, defending me, trying to keep us safe. Yes. Okay, good. I can tell you guys follow my stuff. Okay, they're sabotaging your success. They're sabotaging your success. I didn't cover all 12 signals. I just told you about 12 signals. The 12 signals, all 12 signals is what we cover in my programs, okay? During these free webinars, I address a couple of them, but it takes me months to talk about all 12 different signals. The 12 signals is what I discovered that took me 15 years to discover. Once I discovered, I was like, oh, great, here's one signal. Oh, here's another signal. Oh, over 15 years of playing with my own mind and trying to solve this problem myself, I found 12 signals. Okay. So some people have all 12 of them. Other people only have 6 or 7. Like I said, it would take months for me to talk about every single thing and to teach you about self-sabotage and how to cut the ties to all 12 of them. Right. So I'm trying to fit everything I can into these 2 days. Have you ever thought like, oh, my nose is running. Have you ever thought like, okay, I'm doing all the right things. I'm eating well. I'm exercising. Maybe you even started tapping. You found me, you started tapping. But you always find yourself taking 2 steps back when you take a big step forward. Who's like that in the chat? Yes, right? You read the books, you take the classes, Maybe you're even a student of mine and you feel like, God, I should have success right now, but you don't. What's missing? What do you think is missing? I want you to type in the chat. I mean, seemingly, if you found me, you have all the information, right? What's missing? Okay, Ingrid says trust and belief, confidence in self, dedication, accountability. Mind is too full. Body doesn't want to release the weight. I don't know. Consistency, emotional healing. Okay. Fear of success. Okay, you guys are close. You guys are close. I just eat anyway. Self-love. Okay, these are really good guesses. You've got blind spots and you don't have anybody to help you see them. Okay? So, yesterday we talked about the emotional eating signal. Okay, some of you are asking, what were the signals yesterday? We talked about the signal and we did some healing around emotional eating. Okay, most of you had amazing breakthroughs and went from a 10 to a 0 with just one round of my echo tapping process. And there was a lot of you that got stuck, like Bree and Joanne. Remember when I had them on live? So, do you remember if you were on yesterday? Once I talked to them and we got clarity on what happened, it seemed that both of them had experienced some sort of self-sabotage, right? Joanne kind of like was popping out and she was trying to do it perfectly and she was trying to like, really get the right answer, the perfect answer. Right? And then Bree kept like her brain kept going somewhere else. She couldn't actually focus on the exercise that I was giving her, okay? So if I wasn't able to talk to them and figure that out with them and explain how to apply the technique differently and how they actually need to apply a different signal to deal with that problem, they may have left and thought, oh, well, that didn't work. So, and they'd be on looking for the next thing, right? Like this is what happens to most of us. If something doesn't work exactly how we think it's supposed to work, we think, okay, that doesn't work, and we just move on, right? A lot of you guys had some major resistance come up yesterday, right? Or maybe your number didn't drop that much. Okay, this is great. I love working with people who have resistance or who don't get results with my technique because you know how when you're making great progress and you're losing weight and you're eating healthy and you're sticking to your exercise routine and then all of a sudden something happens and you go back to your unhealthy pattern. So when you have resistance like that, it's actually a sign that this will work even more powerfully for you because your subconscious mind is a super protector. And guess what? I am a super protector's worst fucking nightmare. You see, your brain's most primitive part, the reptilian brain, which evolved hundreds of millions of years ago, has only one job. Only one job. Survival at all costs. It doesn't think, it doesn't reason, and it definitely does not give a fuck about your body goals. Okay? It's operating on ancient programming that's designed to keep you from starving, freezing, or being eaten by a predator. And so, as far as your reptilian brain is concerned, it's doing a fantastic job. You're alive, you have food, you have shelter, mission accomplished, right? It doesn't see extra fat as a problem. It actually sees it as insurance. If something really bad happens, like famine, sickness, danger, which is very, very common, which used to be very, very common, it thinks, oh, good, we won't starve. So when you start losing weight, your reptilian brain panics. It's kind of like an overprotective parent that's screaming at you, like, no, you need this. Stop what you're doing right now. And that's when the self sabotage kicks in, guys. It happens when your pants are fitting a little looser. It happens when my techniques are working really well. When your cravings start disappearing, maybe you feel happier for no reason, or you start to get compliments. People start telling you how great you look. Maybe you start even getting a little bit more attention. The more powerful your super protector is, the harder it fights against change. And it will trigger cravings, it will trigger procrastination, binge eating, the I don't care thoughts, the moment that it sees progress. Who can relate to this? Cindy said, that's so me. Margaret's like, yes, that makes sense. I have an extreme, me. Hell yes. Right? This is all of us, you guys. This was the most frustrating part of my own journey. It took me, this was the last thing that I figured out. The super protector part, this was the very last thing that I was able to figure. It took me 15 years to discover the things that I'm teaching you today in 2 hours or however long it's going to take for me to teach you. See, here's the good news. Once we reprogram the reptilian brain by adding the different signals, okay? Because remember, we got to figure out what signals you have, and then we got to apply the right signals for your brain, right? Everybody's different. Not everybody has all 12 signals. Once we reprogram the reptilian brain with the different signals, it stops fighting you. And instead of seeing weight loss as a threat, it starts to see it as necessary, as something that helps you, not hurts you. Is this making sense to you guys? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of yeses. Okay, so guess what? Guess what the biggest threat? Guess what the biggest threat to a super protector is? Guess what the biggest threat of a super protector is? Guess. Change, good. Dana said me, it's me. I am a super protector's biggest threat because it's someone who can see your blind spots. It's impossible to see these on your own. So it's super normal to shut down or have really strong reactions to my techniques. I'm working directly with your reptilian brain. Okay, so today I'm going to walk you through another tapping exercise. I'm going to show you another signal to address one of your hidden blind spots, just like we did yesterday. Okay, I told you in the email to bring some food with you today. You can just put that aside for the moment. We have, how many people do we have here? We have, oh, welcome. We have more people. Almost everybody came back from yesterday. Thank you. And you guys missed the tech drama, so no worries that you were late. Okay, so we have 325 people on right now. I want you to think about if you're willing to work with me live today in front of the group. Hopefully we got the video working again so I can actually see you this time. Please have no distractions, have good lighting, and be willing to share your process with us in front of the group. I know sometimes, some people get freaked out by that and some people are fine with it, but this is kind of like working with me one-on-one. So people find it usually really valuable. Okay. So I want to talk more about this super protector that we all have inside of us. See, there's always a payoff, right? The weight is doing something for you. It thinks it's protecting you from something. Remember, your reptilian brain's one job is survival at all costs. And the hippocampus, which is what we learned about yesterday, what is it doing? What's the hippocampus doing? It's constantly recalling memories and traumas from the past, and it's sending these pain or pleasure signals, causing all types of chaos for the reptilian brain. Right? It's kind of like gaslighting us into thinking that there's danger all the freaking time. Our poor reptilian brain is like, what the fuck is going on? Right? And the way that we deal with this in modern society is that we eat food to feel safe, even if we aren't really hungry. So you guys, if you felt 100% safe to lose weight, if your brain thought the only way for you to survive was to have a fit and healthy body, you would have a fit, healthy body. That super protector is like a bug in the software system of your mind. Okay? Your reptilian brain hasn't had an update since we were living in the caves. Okay? You guys, that's all this is. This is a software problem. I want you to understand this because this is a really complicated topic that I have worked for more than a decade to simplify, not only in how I help you with this, but also in how I explain it to you so that you understand that this isn't that complicated. I know it's been complicated. This has probably been the most complicated. I bet you're super motivated. I bet you're successful in almost everything that you do. And this is the one area of your life that you're not successful in. Type yes in the chat if this is you. Who thinks like, why the fuck can't I figure this out? It's a software problem, y'all. It's a software problem. You know how your computer will tell you when it needs an update? Like, I don't know if you have a Mac like me, it's over on the right-hand side. It's like, we need to update. And you update it and it runs faster, it runs better, the tabs stop crashing. Your brain needs an update. Okay? Maybe at some point in the future, AI will figure out how to do this for us. But for right now, I am like your personal AI. I have the codes that your brain needs for the update, and I can give them to you. All you have to do is take them and plug them in. It's that simple. It's that simple. You know, it's really interesting. You know, when people can finally lose weight who've been struggling their whole lives without my help or without anybody else's help, check this out. This is super interesting. Okay, so somebody's been struggling with weight their whole life. They've tried all the diets. They can't. They've even tried my program. My program's not working for them. Okay, guess when they have success? When a doctor tells them they're gonna die. How fucking crazy is that? I've seen it so many times. They come into my program the first time, they don't do the modules, they don't tap, they have all the excuses, they don't do the work. And then a doctor tells them if they don't lose weight, they're going to die. And guess what happens? They come back, they follow the program perfectly, they are the best freaking students. And guess what? They lose their weight. How nuts is that? You guys, losing weight is so scary, it has to be life or death sometimes. Or you could learn how your brain works and how to sever the ties and finally tell your subconscious mind, it's safe now. It's safe to release this weight. Okay? Who's ready to do that with me? You guys want to do that today with me? Okay, good. I'm seeing yes, 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 yes. Absolutely. Okay, great. So, I have a question. Who has been on a diet and tried using portion control? Right? I think that's like a really common one. Maybe you tried Weight Watchers, maybe you tried tracking your calories, or maybe you did that one where you know, you just eat half of what's on your plate, or maybe you even tried to get smaller plates, right? Or maybe you weighed your food. I mean, most diet programs teach portion control of some kind, right? Because you do have to eat less if you want to lose weight. And that's really hard, isn't it? I mean, especially in America. Oh my God. I moved back here. Most of you guys know that I was living in Barcelona for 3 years before I moved back here to the States. And I got back and I was like, you have to be kidding me. Like the portions that come, I was just completely shocked. I had adjusted to European portions. So we live in a day and age where there is just tons of food everywhere. Food is so available and the portions are just out of control. So you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to be good. I'm only going to eat half of this. And who has this experience? Before you know it, you look down and the entire thing is gone and you don't even remember eating it. Me, all gone. Yes, 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 yes. Right? All the time. Tara says, clean plate club. All right, you've been to one of these, or you're my student. Okay, so what if you stopped overeating like that? What if you didn't even have to use willpower to stop overeating like that? What if you didn't have to use your conscious effort to stop overeating? What if you just forgot to finish it? Have you guys ever noticed? Have you ever, like, your skinny friends, have you ever watched them eat and how they'll just like forget about food? I have a naturally skinny friend who has been living with me for a while, and she'll order takeout and she has all this food and she'll like order this feast. And then the next day, I mean, there's so much left over. And then the next day, she orders more food. And I'm like, there's food in the fridge. She's like, oh yeah, I forgot about it. Like, what? You forgot about it? What? It's so annoying, right? What if you could do that too? What if you just got full on less food? What if you just forgot to finish it? What would life be like? Okay, could you imagine yourself doing that? I want you to type in the chat, what do you think your life would be like if you just forgot to finish food, or you just like stopped and you just like stopped after you had enough? If this was an automatic behavior and you didn't have to control or use any willpower whatsoever, how many of you guys believe that you would lose weight? Yes, 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 yes. Me. Absolutely. It would be so liberating for sure. I would get more work done. Absolutely. Budget savings. Yes. Think about how much money you would save too. Okay. So that's what I'm going to teach you guys how to do today. Are you excited? I don't know if you remember this, but yesterday I told you that we're going to work on changing your weight set point today. Okay. The technique that I'm going to show you and the signal that I'm going to show you, it's kind of like I've had students compare it to getting gastric bypass surgery, but without the surgery, obviously. Okay. This is how we do that. Okay. I'm going to show you today how we basically give ourselves gastric bypass surgery so that we leave food on the plate. We don't think about it. As soon as the food is done, we forget about it. We have no problem throwing it away. Okay. This is how we do it. So I want everybody to think back to your childhood for a minute. Okay. I want you to picture yourself at the dinner table. And this is interactive. So I want you to tell me I'm going to ask you questions and I want you to respond. So picture yourself at the dinner table. What were dinners like in your home? Were you ever told things like, you can't leave the table until your plate is clean? Or no dessert until you finish your vegetables? Or did you feel like you had to eat everything, even if you weren't hungry, so that your mom wouldn't get mad at you, or so that you could like hurry up and go play with your friends? Another really common one is when girls have brothers, like you have to eat everything really super fast, otherwise your brothers are going to get it and there's not going to be food left for you. Okay. Yes, all of that. It's criminal to waste food. Okay. Eat all your food. There's starving children. Dinners were combative. Yeah. Stressful. Must clean your plate. Yes. Chaotic. Okay. So what I'm going to show you today and what you guys are going to experience today is how those early moments shaped your relationship with food. And they are still haunting and controlling your habits, and they're affecting your weight set point as an adult. See, many of us grew up with the Clean Your Plate program, which is a phrase that I coined to explain a set of beliefs that we inherited from our family and our caregivers about food and eating. Do you remember the story yesterday about She's Shy? How we inherit these beliefs from other people. We take on these things that are not ours. Okay. See, our caregivers, they had good intentions, right? They want us to be healthy. They want us to eat all of our vegetables. They don't want us to waste food. But it taught us how to override our body's natural hunger and fullness cues. Okay, so I want you to think back to when you were a kid and you're sitting around the dinner table. What were the messages that you heard around food? Okay, so type them in the chat. Some common ones, just to give you examples, to jog your memory. You can't go play until you finish everything on your plate. There are starving children in the world. You can't waste food. We worked hard for that. Don't waste money. If you take it, you have to eat it. Right. Starving children. Food is wonderful, so enjoy it. Okay, good. Let's see. You'll stay there and eat it all. I had to eat it whether I liked it or not. Take all you want, eat all you take. Good girls eat their food. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. Yes. Great. Oh my gosh, so many of them. Okay. So these messages were meant to teach us gratitude and responsibility as children, but that's not what we learned. Okay. Just like the story yesterday, the she's shy, we internalize these as rules. We internalize these as a set of beliefs about ourselves. And over time, they become subconscious programs that then control our eating habits now as adults without us even realizing it. Here's the thing, guys. As kids, we're born with the ability to know whether we're hungry and when we're full. But when we're told to eat everything on our plate, even when we weren't really hungry, it creates a disconnect between our bodies and our minds. And this is one of the biggest reasons we struggle with weight as adults. We learn to override our body's hunger and full signals. Who knows this is true? Is this resonating for you? Yes, yes, yes. So true. Yes. So scary. It's the truth completely. Okay, so here's some examples of how this will show up in your life right now. These are 4 signs that you have this subconscious programming, okay? Number 1, you feel anxious about wasting food. Maybe you are always eating leftovers that you don't even like or that are even like kind of old because you feel guilty throwing them away. Okay? Type type yes in the chat if this is you, if you have this one. You have a hard time leaving food on your plate. Even when you're full, you keep eating and you don't know why. Okay. Number 3, certain foods bring up strong emotions. You might crave specific meals because they remind you of family or comfort, even if you're not hungry. And number 4, you feel compelled to finish eating everything you serve yourself. If you take it, you feel obligated to eat it no matter how full you are. Okay, I'm seeing a whole lot of yeses. How many had all 4 of them? Type in the chat how many of these you had. 1, 2, 3, or 4. I'm seeing a lot of 3s and 4s. Seeing a lot of 3s or 4s. Okay, you feel anxious about wasting food. Maybe you're eating leftovers that you don't even like because you feel guilty throwing them away. You have a hard time leaving food on your plate. Even when you're full, you keep eating and you don't know why. Number 3, certain foods bring up strong emotions. You might crave specific meals because they remind you of family or comfort, even if you're not hungry. Number 4, you feel compelled to finish everything you serve yourself. Even if you take it, you feel obligated to eat it no matter how full you are. Okay. Can you guys see why we might have a weight problem because of this? Is this making sense? Okay. Who wants to fix this? Who wants to fix this? No. Okay. This isn't to make this is someone was like, I feel so sad. You know what? This is just the identification. We are finding these signals in your subconscious mind, okay? Not everybody has this. Maybe dinner was super fun and maybe that was the only time that your family was like, do whatever you want. Now, that's not most people's experience. Most people's experience is what we're talking about today, but listen, if dinner times were like really if throwing food away is not a problem for you, and if meal times were like super happy and your parents just let you do whatever you wanted and eat, you don't have this one, okay? So this part is just to help you identify the signal that's going to work for you in your brain, okay? Because remember, we got to apply the signal. We got to first find the problem so that we can apply the signal. So this is So this is just the identification process, which is what we need in order to really clean this up. Okay. So we're going to start rewriting. We're going to start using these signals to rewrite these old programs. So I want everybody to go grab your food right now. And I want you to tell me what it is, what food it is in the chat. Tell me what you brought. And for those of you that would like to volunteer, I'll take 2 people to volunteer. If you have this, if you please only raise your hand if this is a problem for you, and if you would like to hopefully work with me on camera. Okay, so raise your hand. Oh, I just raised my own hand. Raise your hand in the chat if you would like to work with me. Oh, here we go. Attendees. Awesome. Cool. Okay, so while everybody goes and grabs their snack, I'm gonna take a quick potty break. Well, give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Wait, I'm muted? No, I'm not. Unmute myself. Here we go. Okay. Fancy chocolates. Let's see. What did you guys bring? Cheese and bread. Cool. Pizza, chips, wine, and bread. Oh, that's a lot. Peanut butter truffle bites. You know, for those of you who brought multiple foods, we can try to actually work with all the foods at once. I usually like to only work with one food at a time, but it might be a cool experiment. This technique is a little more flexible, so we might actually be able to work with all the. Let's try that actually. Let's try that. For anybody that brought like a couple different types of foods, so I'm going to walk everybody through this exercise together. Okay. I'm going to have a couple people work with me live, but then everybody's going to follow the instructions, and you're all going to go through the process together. Okay. So let's see. Can you work with hypothetical food? Today, yes, you can, but today is so much better. If you can just if you can go grab just like anything, it actually doesn't matter if it's like a favorite food or not, just any food will do for this. It's better if you have like, if you really love the food, but just grab any food that's in your house right now. Okay. Let's see. Okay, cool. You guys got your food. Yikes, I already ate half of my pizza. All right, Judy, slow down. No more eating no more eating the pizza. Okay, I'm gonna take Nikki and Deb. Nikki and Deb, can you guys turn on your cameras?
I don't have a place to turn on my camera.
Yeah, neither do I.
Where I normally see it, it's not there.
It's not there.
I agree with her. I'm familiar with using Zoom, and it doesn't seem to be an option.
Right.
Okay. I think we went through an update on Zoom, and something happened, something changed for this one. That's a bummer. Okay, no big deal. So we'll talk it out. So Nikki, what did you bring? What food do you have?
I cannot eat hard candy is like I just have to like chew it. I can never, you know what I mean? Like it's so hard to make it suck on it to the end. It's not like that's never happened before, but like for the most part, any hard candy is just like I have to chew it, or even cough drops, like icky cough drops. I can't like just suck on them. And so I brought some butterscotch, hard butterscotch. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not clear. You can't like stop eating them? Is that
Yeah, well, like, well, hard candy too. Yeah, like if I start eating like hard candy, I can't stop. It's like potato chips, but like I can't just suck on it. You know what I mean? Like I can't just suck on one and get like a lollipop, just like suck on it and like get through it, like and really enjoy it and not go back for another. But I can't.
What the bad behavior is. Don't tell me what you want. I want you to tell me.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like, if you have a sucker, like a small sucker, like a dum dum or something like that, you should just be able to suck on it, enjoy it, not have another one, right? But it's kind of like potato chips. Oh, you can't just have one chip, right?
Okay. Got it. Okay, I got that for you. Do you remember your earliest experiences eating like hard candies?
Just as a little girl, having it in the house, we had a lot of like hard candy, like in storage or just like,
Okay. This is something grandparents had around sitting in bowls.
yeah.
That. Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm gonna mute you real quick and talk to Deb. Deb, what food did you bring?
I brought chicken salad.
Chicken salad. Okay. That's
Well, but it's a special chicken salad that is expensive.
perfect.
And I seem to buy it and eat the whole container, which is by the container's description for servings. So
Okay, yeah. It would be good to eat less of that, wouldn't it?
it would be really good to eat less of that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let's do that for you. So, all right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off by everybody look down at their food, and I want you to taste or smell your food. Maybe Nikki, you just have like a lick. Don't put one in your mouth. Just have a lick. Um, let's see. Okay. And everybody, okay, and then decide how strong your trigger is for this on a scale from 0 to 10. Okay, so not what your trigger is, how badly do you want to eat more of this? Okay, on a scale from 0 to 10. I'm going to turn my heater on too. It's freezing. Cool. So cold. Swear, Texas is so weird. I was so hot yesterday and now it's freezing today. Okay. So everybody sounds like everybody's at an 8, 9, or 10. Great. So what you're going to do is you're going to look down at the food, and this is going to sound really weird. And if you're new to tapping, just follow along. I'm going to be tapping on my points. Just follow along with me. If you can't get this side, you can go like this, or you can skip this point altogether. Okay. So just follow along with me. The only way that you can do this wrong is if you're thinking about your to-do list, or if you have a conversation like this is not going to work, or if you are zoning out or checking out. Okay. So try to really focus on what I'm telling you to do. So look down at the food that you have in front of you. Okay. Feel that 9, 10, 11, 20, whatever it is. And feel that yumminess, right? It's like a yummy feeling, right? And you notice your body even like going towards it, like you want more. Okay. This is gonna sound weird. What I want you to do is I want you to take those feelings. I want you to look at the food, and I want you to scoop those feelings out of the food and bring them into your chest here, into your heart. I have to do this a couple of times. So scoop it. I have doctors and lawyers and, very logical type people that do this all the time. So this sounds weird, but feel those good, yummy feelings and like scoop them out of the food and bring them into your heart. Okay. And I want everybody to think about if you can remember who you used to eat this food with. Like Nikki said, she used to eat it from childhood. Deb, I don't think we talked about who you used to eat this from. Whether you ate it with somebody from childhood or not doesn't really matter for this technique. But if you can remember when you first ate this food or who you used to eat this food with, I want you to picture that person. Okay. So picture that person in your mind's eye. Maybe they're, out in front of you some way to the left or the right. And what you're going to do is you're going to feel this food feeling in you. Okay. Nikki's got the hard candy feeling. Deb's got the chicken salad feeling. Okay. All right. I want you to feel is you got the pizza feeling, you got the chips feeling, feel this feeling. And what I want you to do is I want you to imagine sending this taste and all these good feelings from your heart to that person's heart. Okay. Now, if you can't remember who you used to eat this with in childhood, you can imagine anybody that you really love that you want to share this feeling with. Okay. It can be your husband, it can be a child, it can be an animal. I know when I first started doing this, I didn't have any safe people in my life. And so I started with just working with trees. Okay. Trees love receiving love from us. Okay. So you can imagine it works best if you used to eat this with somebody from your past and you picture them. But if you don't have that, you can just picture anybody that you want to share this feeling with. Okay. So as you do that, I want you to imagine you're passing this taste and all these good feelings. Now, this taste and all these good feelings is when it's in your heart, it becomes this big, beautiful, iridescent ball of light. Okay. And we're going to start tapping on the points here. And what we're going to do is we're going to send this taste and all these good feelings from your heart to their heart. And when they receive it into their heart, see their eyes light up and they go, oh my God, thank you so much for sharing this with me. And they just love it. They adore you. They're so grateful that you chose them to share this feeling with. And they're reminiscing about all the good times that you guys used to have together eating this food, or they're just like, they just love that you thought of them. Okay. So so now they have the ball of light. And I want you to imagine, keep tapping through the points, them sending this taste and all these good feelings back to your heart. Okay. You're going to keep tapping through the points here. I know there's a lot going on. So again, taste the food in your mind. Remember that really good, yummy taste, that pizza, that chocolate, those chips, the hard candies, the chicken salad. Feel those good feelings and send that feeling from your heart to their heart. And from their heart back to your heart. Okay, taste the feeling in your mind. Feel all these good feelings. As you send this taste and all these good feelings from your heart to their heart, and from their heart back to your heart. Okay, taste the food in your mind, feeling all these really good feelings, and just keep imagining sending this ball of light back and forth. Now you can go a little bit faster. Just visualize sending this ball of light, this good taste and all these good feelings back and forth. As you keep tapping through the points, back and forth, back and forth. Keep tasting the food in your mind, feeling all those really good feelings. You're sending this taste and all these good feelings from your heart to their heart, and from their heart back to your heart. Okay. You send the good taste and the good feelings, Peggy. So the good taste and the good feelings, they're jumbled up together. That's actually one of the biggest problems. Okay. You don't have a person to connect it to, pick an animal. Pick anybody. Yeah, it makes me think of my mom who passed. Okay, so just keep sending this ball of light back and forth. Keep tasting the food in your mind, feeling all those really good feelings, sending this taste and all those feelings from your heart to their heart, from their heart back to your heart. Okay, do it a couple more times. Back and forth. Back and forth. Remember that food taste in your mind. Feel it in your mouth, in your, what are those things called? Your taste buds. I'm on a detox right now and I'm losing words, forgetting words. Okay, sending it back and forth. Back and forth. Okay, take a nice deep breath. This is just step one of the process, you guys. We're going to go even deeper on this, okay? So, take a nice deep breath and stop tapping for a minute. And I want you to, actually, no, we're not going to do that part. I'm not going to do that part. Well, maybe we are. Everybody now look at your food, taste your food, smell your food, take a small bite of your food, take a small lick of the ice cream, whatever it is, Nikki. Okay, and notice what your number is on a scale from 0 to 10, and type it in the chat. Type what you started with and what you are now. 10 to a 5, 3, 1, 4, 10 to a 6, 10 to a 5. Okay, great. Good. Most of you guys got down like half. Amazing. 10 to an 8, 10 to a 6. Okay, cool. Awesome. Still 10. Okay. Okay, good. So now what I want you to do is, I want you to, okay, now everybody actually here, wait, let me check in with my Nikki and Deb. Nikki, what number are you at? Nikki and Deb, I'm just unmuting you guys.
A 6.
You're at 6? Okay. What did you start at?
At 10.
A 10. Great. Deb, what are you at?
I am at a 7,
And you started at a 10?
10,
Perfect.
and after I took a bite, I was like, oh, that was so good, but I don't feel frantic to take another bite.
Awesome. What a great
Yes,
feeling that is. So already you don't have to use willpower to eat less, right?
that's what I'm thinking maybe at the moment.
Yeah, cool.
Yes,
Well, we're gonna do you way better than that, but I just want to acknowledge that you've already changed your experience with the chicken salad, right?
yes, I have changed my experience and I'm so excited.
Great. Okay, cool. Well, I can't wait to hear what happens when you're done. Nikki, what were you start? How did you start? Were you like really panicking, like, oh my God, I can't wait to eat this?
Yeah, so what I was trying to, I guess, express with hard candy it was always around. I chose Werther's Original because I just remember really liking that one, and I can never control myself with it. But I realized what it is when I'm eating the hard candy or the cough drops, which is kind of funny because that's icky, right? Um, I feel like all my pleasure centers in my brain just go right off, and I can't like suck on it. I have to chew it, and I have to eat more and more and more and more. And it was really profound when I was doing the tapping. All of a sudden, my butterscotch hard candy turned to Jolly Ranchers, and then I had this complete epiphany. My mom was she had a chronic cough 24/7. She just had this really bad chronic cough. And so she always was downing cough drops and hard candy like Jolly Ranchers and, any hard candy to like save herself, right? And it just blew my mind that this like butterscotch totally changed to all these different flavors. And then the cough drops, I realized it was just my mom and
Oh,
that intense love I had for her.
oh yeah, that's so powerful. I was going to ask you if a memory came up of somebody from your childhood that you used to eat this with. Did anybody else have that realization that you used to eat this food with somebody that you really love or during a positive time? This is how the nucleus accumbens gets activated, right? We talked about that yesterday with me and my grandma on the chocolate chip cookies, right? So when you're eating this food, it's just like ingesting the love of your mother, right? But you're not conscious of that. You're not thinking that. You just think you really like hard candies, right? Which is how you started.
Yeah, it was just a really intense feeling. I realized that how intensely my brain gets spiked with pleasure
Yeah.
is really how intensely I was loving my mother.
Oh, how beautiful. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. Like it's so beautiful to have that experience as a child and to be able to remember and experience that love and remember that love as an adult. We just they're just the signals are crossed there, and the signals are like eating hard candy equals feeling mom's love. And so all we're doing here, just like we talked about yesterday, I don't know if you were on yesterday, but we're interrupting the signal. We're sending a different signal while you're feeling those feelings because those two feelings should not be intertwined. Okay? And so we're sending this calming signal to separate these two emotions so that hard candy is here and mom's love is over here. That's
Well, and I think too that the reason why I can't just suck on one and enjoy it, like, oh, enjoy my mother's love, is I just always had this feeling that I wasn't getting enough of my mom's love and her time. And that is what came out in yesterday's class was how alone and lonely I felt. I was alone a lot and I felt very lonely even when I was with them. And so I think the reason why I just can't suck on them and I just end up chewing them is because I just can't get enough.
you can't get enough. You can never get enough of mom's love, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What a big realization, Nikki. Oh my gosh. I'm so grateful that you're in this class and that I can help you with this because
Yeah, this was huge for me.
yeah, this is a really complicated problem that is actually really simple once you know what to do to solve it. So I'm glad you were on yesterday and you had that experience, and it's cool that it's tying in with your experience today too. So you'll get a really deep healing. I'm excited to see what happens for you after this workshop is over. Cool. Okay, so let's go to step two. Or I don't know, step three. I don't know what step are we on? Step three. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is I want everybody to pick your food up, okay? And I'm probably on your computer for most of you. I want you to pick your food up or your plate up or the bowl up, whatever this is. And I want you to walk over to the trash. And what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to throw this food in the trash. Okay? And before you throw it in the trash, I want you to tell me, type in the chat, what are you feeling? Okay? What are you feeling? This is step two. We're doing step two right now. What are you feeling? Pick this food up, walk over to the garbage can, and I'm going to tell you to throw the food in the garbage can. Okay? So come back or bring your computer over to the garbage can or bring the garbage can over to you. Maybe that's probably easier. Bring the garbage can over to you. And I want you to tell me how you're feeling. Anxious, sad, don't want to, lost, nervous, wasting food. No, I can't. Okay. Resistance, frantic. No, I don't want to. Okay. Um, Deb, what's happening for you as you think about throwing this chicken salad in the trash?
Can I cry?
You absolutely can. I'm not doing my job unless I make somebody cry.
Oh, here it goes.
Okay, okay. Oh, wait, hold on. You don't have to throw it away yet. Just wait. I'm just threatening you with throwing it away. Sorry. I apologize. I promise there's a silver lining to this. Nikki, how does this feel? I'm just unmuting you, Nikki. How does it feel for you thinking about throwing the candy away? Nikki, go. You're not unmuted. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry. There we go. Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, it's kind of an empty trash can. I can go get it out if I really have a struggle with this. Like I'm struggling. I'm not ready to throw it away.
Yeah. Okay. So what are the emotions? Try to name them. Is it fear? Is it anxiety? Is it panic? Is it
I feel like the love is not, it's like 80% out of it, but it's not 100%. It's not 100% hard candy and 100% mom in two different files.
okay, great. Good to notice. That was a very advanced realization of you. So sometimes we have to do the ball of light multiple times before we're ready to throw it away. Or sometimes you could also try this, Nikki. You could try to just throw it away. And sometimes the emotions get filed into two separate filing cabinets just with the next step. Okay. So if you're not down to a zero, you could, while I'm kind of setting up the next thing, you could do some more ball of light with it just right now. And if anybody else is experiencing that, if you want to do some more ball of light, then you can do that. But that might get solved just with this next part. Okay. So let's see. This is always an experiment. I always look at these techniques like it's an experiment. Okay. I know how they're supposed to work. But they work a little bit differently for everybody. Okay. And what's cool about it is that we can customize it, and I can give you specific feedback so that it can work for you even better. Okay, cool. All right. So we're going to just focus on how you feel about throwing the food away. Okay. And I want everybody to repeat after me. We're just going to do some regular tapping. You guys are on mute. So say this out loud. Even though it feels wrong to waste this food, I honor these feelings and where they come from. Even though I feel guilty and selfish for wasting food, I deeply accept myself and choose to create a new way of thinking. Ring is. even though I feel guilty about wasting food. I allow myself to question whether these beliefs are still serving me. Okay, now notice you guys, I always have to slow myself down. Try to follow my cadence with the tapping. The more triggered you are, the more fast you tap. It feels counterintuitive to tap slower, but you'll actually get relief. You'll change a lot faster the slower you tap. Okay, so I'm gonna try to model that for you. Okay. So again, repeat after me. It feels so wrong to throw this food away. There's a knot in my stomach just thinking about it. Someone will be mad at me for wasting food. This feels wrong. It feels like I'm breaking a rule. There are starving children in the world. There are people that don't have enough food. Throwing this away makes me feel so selfish. This food is perfectly good and I'm just wasting it. I feel like a bad person for even considering this. All right, take a nice deep breath. All right, we're going to go right back into it. I should just save this for later, even if I don't want it now. I feel so guilty for throwing this food away. I'll disappoint someone by throwing this food away. They worked so hard to put food on the table. This anxiety is so strong, it feels overwhelming. I'm so used to feeling guilty about wasting food. Part of me doesn't want to change this. Part of me doesn't believe that it's okay to throw food away. Okay, take another nice deep breath. Where did I learn that throwing food away is so wrong? Who did I learn this from? I can see them here with me now. And I want you to hear them say out loud what they said to you, your specific thing. They're starving children. You can't leave the table until all your food is gone. If you serve it to yourself, you got to eat it, right? Say those things out loud right now. Does it really make me a bad person if I throw food away? Does eating this food help the starving children right now? Or is this just a story I've been conditioned with? Who am I afraid to disappoint by throwing this food away? Is this fear really mine or something I was taught to feel? Okay, now take a nice deep breath. I want you to, okay, now we're going to get closer. I want you to hold with one hand. I want you to hold the food over the garbage can like you're about to throw it out. Okay? And repeat after me. What if letting go of this food isn't wasteful but wise? Could throwing it away be a way of honoring my needs instead of following someone else's rules? I'm going to say that again. Could throwing it away be a way to honor my needs instead of someone else's rules? Is it really wasteful to honor my body's boundaries? What if the real waste is using my body as storage for food I don't need? Why do I believe I need to sacrifice my body to avoid feeling wasteful? I'm going to say that one again. Why do I believe I need to sacrifice my body to avoid feeling wasteful? It either goes in the trash or on my ass. What if respecting my body is the highest form of gratitude for this food? Could I release this belief and still honor the value of food in other ways? Can I rewrite this story to prioritize my health over my habits? What if letting go of this food makes room for something greater in my life? What if respecting myself starts right here in this moment? Okay, take a nice deep breath. Sharni, just keep tapping. Okay. Now I want you to throw the actual food in the trash. If you didn't already do it, throw the actual food in the trash. Okay. And if you're still feeling triggered, I want you to keep tapping. Okay. Throw the food in the trash and tell me how it feels as you're looking at the food in the trash. I'm going to come to Nikki and Deb. Nikki, go ahead and unmute yourself. Deb, unmute yourself.
Well, you were really inspired because that was so profound for me. So one thing that I've been struggling with profoundly in emotionally overeating, in eating in general, in cravings, in everything that's associated with food is that somehow I have it in my mind that I have to eat everything and I have to, it's not just clean the plate, it's like clean the cupboard, clean the refrigerator. Because somehow if I eat it, I'm saving it. And it's like I have be even my dad would call me like the garbage disposal because of how much I had to eat. And like I had to eat everything in the fridge, I had to eat every leftover, I had to eat. Even if it was bad food, I'm not kidding, guys. And then there's like times in our lives where we were living off food storage, and some of that food storage was like 40 years old. I'm not kidding. You can ask my kids. And I would like, I had to save it. I had to save the food like the food was a person and I had to save it. And
Oh,
that's been like my biggest block, is I don't understand why I had to save the food. But while I was doing this, I realized that it's like you said, pick the person that this is associated with. Well, yeah, it started out as a love connection with my mom, but somehow I realized that when you said like, starving children in Africa, yeah, I got that line too. But my parents grew up in World War II and the Great Depression, and their parents grew up in World War One, and they were like, they lost farms, and they were starving, like from my parents' generation back, how many generations they were starving. And I think subconsciously, I thought if I ate all the food, even if it was bad, it didn't matter how much of it was there, it had to be taken care of, that somehow I was feeding them. But it's not possible for me to feed the past. I can only live in the moment, right? And I can only take care of myself, but somehow I'm like reliving their lives.
oh my gosh, Nikki. Oh my God. Thank you so much for sharing that. Isn't that fascinating how we'll just have this one belief, we'll make one tiny association as a kid, and it can happen in an instant, and it happens to all of us. And then we develop this belief, and it literally haunts us for the rest of our life, and we have no fucking clue why we're doing it.
Yeah, just I don't know how I could believe, like, it doesn't make sense. You're eating in the now, and 20 years ago they're starving,
It's
but
that reptilian brain. It's that reptilian brain that's like, hey, there was
yeah.
danger. Our tribe had all this danger. Okay, this is tribal trauma. I talk about this in one of my other webinars. If you guys are ever able to watch, if we say like an on-demand webinar, watch some of those because I talk about different things in different webinars. This is a tribal trauma that your family experienced. I also had somebody who was Jewish, and her grandparents were in the concentration camps, and she had this same thing that was really strong. So her reptilian brain is like, this is inherited. Our tribe has gone without food. Therefore, we need to stock up on food and have as much food storage just so that that thing never happens again. It's genetically inherited in a lot of people.
I believe that. I
Yeah.
truly believe that, because in that, until now, in fact, I was going to ask you, like, where does this save the food come from? I can't figure it out. I just in the last tapping we did, I understand now. Yeah, and I always thought this must be genetic somehow, because of, it made sense to me, but I just wasn't connecting the dots. I live in the now. They lived in the past. I can't live in the future. I can't live in the past. But throwing away food was just has been my biggest hardest thing. But not just throwing away food, somehow I feel like eating it saves the food, and it
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't. Well, to your reptilian brain, though, it does. And like to some animals, think about bears, right? They eat all this food, they store up so that they can sleep for months and months and months and not have to eat for months, right? So we don't know what your reptilian brain is thinking, right? Maybe and actually that does work. Like we don't have to, we need water, but we don't actually have to eat food. So if we have a lot of extra fat storage on our bodies, we can survive a really long time without food. So that makes sense. It makes sense from, a biological standpoint. It doesn't make sense for, living in today's society, in today's world. So, oh, thank you, Nikki. I'm so glad you're here today. And how does it feel with the food in the garbage can now? Are you still triggered by
Oh
it?
yeah, so I just checked it away and put the rest of the hard candy to the side where I didn't care about it. But what you're saying, I just want to validate is true, because I've done a lot of fasting, like extended fasts, and I just a few months ago, I did a 40-day extended fast where it was just liquids, but most of it was just like broth, and like miso. It was really more of and I got done and my body was completely cleaned up and I felt freaking fantastic. I didn't want to go back to eating again, but I know, like, I need to, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to say that, like, it was been so frustrating. Why, I know from my own experience that I'm not going to die if I don't eat food for an extended period of time, but why I felt the way I did. And now I know it has nothing to do with my fasting, has everything to do with that reptilian brain and the trauma that my ancestors experienced. That has just man, right there, you just broke one of my biggest blocks ever.
Oh, I'm so happy, Nikki. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm so glad you're here. And I'm so glad I picked you to do this demonstration with. That was so great. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing in front of the group too and sharing your story.
No, thank you so much.
Yes, you're so welcome. You're getting cheer. You're getting yay, Nikki, in the comments.
Thank you, everybody.
Love how supportive this community is. Deb, what happened for you?
Oh, wow. Just listening to Nikki. I'm in tears listening to you, Nikki, because my grandparents were born in the 1890s and experienced the Great Depression, the World War I, the World War II. My parents were born in time that they were um, almost adolescents by the time the Depression hit. And I've always people are always like, why do you keep so much stuff in your pantry? And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, because I can. And so, just the concept of eating food to to make up for the food that they didn't have really, really is like an incredible concept just to roll around with and to think about. And so yes, I felt sad when I put my chicken salad in the trash because I really wanted more of it. But that's okay. There's still more in the fridge for another day. And but listen to that. I said for another day.
For another day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yes,
Save it
I
for
still
later.
want it, but I am not like salivating over it, shall we say.
Perfect. And that's exactly the response that we want you to have. Some people will be like, "Oh, I don't want it. I can't even look at it." But if you're like, "Hey, you know what? I just don't want it right now, but I can imagine myself wanting it later."
Mm-hmm.
That's the experience. We don't want to take your food away. We don't want you to never have this food ever again.
Right.
We just want you to normalize your relationship with it so that when you eat it, you just eat a portion of it. You don't eat four portions of it, right? That's
Absolutely.
the healthy response. That's the healthy
Yes.
for this. Great. Awesome,
Ooh,
Deb. Thank you so much
thank you.
for sharing. And oh my gosh, what a great demonstration you guys both were. Um, awesome. And I can't wait to read some of the comments. How was this for you guys? Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Nikki. Let's see. We gotta make sure. Okay. Let's see. Lisa says amazing, right on target. Powerful. I'm exhausted. Yeah, it's very normal to be exhausted. Oh my God, I have a pantry that we named the bomb shelter. It's absolutely full. This is why this is why I talk about an epiphany. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that we had such awesome examples, and thank you guys for sharing your experience with me. Okay, so it looks like you guys got a lot of awesome results from that. I've moved from a 5 to a 1 on my cupcake. Great. I had to tap all the way there. Cool. So if anybody's still triggered, if you're like, oh, it still really sucks to have this food, just keep tapping. As I'm talking, I'm going to talk about the other trauma. I spoke yesterday about this one trauma that affects all of us, and I want to talk about that now. But if you're still a little bit triggered, just keep tapping and keep saying out loud whatever you hear your brain saying. Okay. It looks like most of you guys are down to a total 0, and it was super easy to throw the food away, or not easy, but it's easy to have it in the trash now. Okay, so what I want to point out too is that what we did here is we rewired your weight set point. Okay, that's literally what this technique does. Okay, I guarantee from now on, Nikki's weight set point will forever be different after she's completed this technique. She will not have this belief that she needs to eat it in order to save the food or save her ancestors, right? Everybody's weight set point will get a complete reset after getting and doing this technique. When you can get yourself down to a zero, some people have to do it a couple of times. Some people have to do it. I had a client of mine who had to do it like 30 or 40 times before she was able to really get to a zero, because her dad was a chef and he didn't really show his love a whole lot. And so the only way that she got to experience her dad's love is when he cooked her food. And so when she was throwing food away, she felt like she was throwing his love away, and she got so little love from him that she couldn't bear it. So sometimes we have to do this over and over again, but when you get this and you can get yourself down to a zero where you can throw food away and you are not triggered anymore, your weight set point has no option but to change, but to go down. Literally, that is how we tell our reptilian brain, update, update. It's actually safer if we're at less weight now. It's actually safer if we don't finish all this food. We don't need to worry about a famine, okay? We tell the reptilian brain, we show it our pantry, we show it our refrigerator, we take it to the grocery store, we show it that there's all this food available, okay? That's what happens when you do this technique over and over again. And sometimes you need to apply some of the different techniques. Some of the different signals need to be intermingled with each other. And so sometimes when you have a little bit more of a complicated history, then you have to pair a couple of them together in order to really get those results. But it looks like most people had a really profound shift today, which is awesome. Okay, cool. So I want to talk about that trauma that I was talking about yesterday. And if you're one of those people that you're like, you know what, I didn't have a lot of trauma. I grew up, my parents were really good people. They're that, all these like really horrible traumas. I've never been mentally abused. I've never been sexually abused. But the reality is, most of us traumatize our children on a daily basis. Or if you don't have children, the reality is you were probably traumatized as a child. So I want you to do this. I want you to type yes in the chat. If when your children say, Mommy, when I grow up, I want to be a veterinarian, you say, baby, you can do whatever you want. Type yes in the chat. If when your child says, Mommy, I want to have a big house and a plane and an island, you say, baby, of course you can have anything you want. See, we always tell our children that they can be, do, or have anything we want. And what we don't realize is that this is one of the biggest traumas that prevents us from having a long-lasting, fulfilling life. Because the issue isn't what you told little Kimmy or what you were told as a child, okay? The issue is when Kimmy grows up, she gets a little bit older and she starts looking around at her environment. She's going to start thinking, and she's going to have some more questions. Mom, you told me I could do anything I wanted, right? Yes, baby, I did. Mom, you told me I can be anything I wanted, right? Yes, baby, of course. Mom, you told me I could have anything I want, right? Yes, baby, absolutely. Okay, well, is this all you wanted? See, there are two options here. Either you're a liar and that's just not true, which is fine. You can tell little Kimmy that you can't do what you want. You can't be what you want. You can't have what you want. Or the answer is, Mommy and Daddy weren't willing to make the sacrifices. See, my point is that you can believe whatever you want to believe, but just because you tell yourself that doesn't make it true. See, I've been doing this for more than a decade now, and I've learned quite a few things over the years about what makes people successful, right? The women who've been sharing their stories in these videos, the videos, well, that you saw yesterday, they're taped. They come from our live laser coaching calls that happen with me twice a month in the Thrive program. Do you want to know what makes these women successful? They had community. they have support from a coach, and they have access to me. What's the biggest problem when you buy an online program? What's the biggest problem? Just type it in the chat. What's your biggest problem? You don't do it, right? You have to actually do it. Things happen, life gets in the way, you lose your motivation. How many of you guys were going through the 6-week program and you got stuck and you weren't really sure if something applied to you? Nikki had something totally different come up from this demonstration, and her example was very specific to her and her lineage, right? So like she may have gotten confused on that module in the 6-week program, right? And, have you had that experience where you just wanted to be able to ask somebody a question? Well, I'm going to tell you the solution that I've learned after doing this for more than a decade. There are people who have success and there are people who don't have success. So by now, you know that if you're serious about having permanent weight loss, the only way that you're ever going to achieve that is by addressing the root cause, right? You learned that yesterday. And now we know that the root cause of your cravings, of your emotional eating, and all the symptoms that cause the self-hate, the weight gain, is because your hippocampus is sending the wrong signals to your brain to deal with those. That's the reality, right? So here's a question for you guys. What if for the next 3 months, I take you by the hand and we do these 3 things? I want you to write this down, okay? What if the first thing that we do together is I help you identify what your personal daily triggers are, okay? Just like I did with Nikki today, okay? What if together I help you identify what your personal daily triggers are? Because if you're overeating and if you're having cravings daily, something's happening. Either your routine or someone in your daily routine is triggering you in some way. And until you identify what those triggers are, you're kind of powerless. How many of you guys would agree? Right? Like, sure, we know what your brain is doing now when you have those triggers, but if you don't figure out what the triggers are, you're still powerless, right? So that's the first thing that we're going to do. The next thing that we're going to do is once we figure out what's triggering you, now remember, there's 12 different signals, right? We have to figure out which signals your brain is sending out because, again, not everybody has all of them. Remember, you're an individual, right? So based on your life experience, your signals, you need a different prescription. So we figure that out. And the beauty is, once you learn what that is, you'll never have to go looking for it again. Now that Nikki discovered this about her genetic history, she's never going to have to go find this again. She found it. She found it. That it's over. We don't have to go look for that again. Right? And the final step is, now that we know what's triggering you and what signals it's sending out, I give you the specific tapping codes to interrupt your specific signals and triggers. So you never have to struggle with food. You never have to struggle with your weight ever again. And y'all, this isn't something that's going to take forever. I've worked with hundreds of thousands of women. Most women stop all cravings in the first 2 weeks, never to be seen again. That's it. It doesn't take long. Okay, so here's my question to you. If I gave you a customized roadmap so that you could interrupt your specific signals and triggers, if that's all we did, how many of you guys believe that you would be able to sever the ties? Type yes in the chat. How many of you guys would believe you'd be, if I gave you a customized roadmap for your specific signals and triggers, how many of you guys believe? If that's all we did, how many of you believe it would make a difference? How many of you think that you would stop responding emotionally to food? Okay, well then why don't we just do that? So of course, if you ask me, I'm going to tell you my program is the solution to permanent weight loss, because for me it was. And remember, you guys, I spent more than a decade trying to figure all of this out, right? Like you, I struggled with this problem for a really long time. And figuring out my solution not only gave me my life back, but it's now changed hundreds of thousands of my clients' lives for over a decade. So of course, I want to recognize I am biased. So I don't want you to listen to me. I want you to listen to the women that were sitting in the exact same seats that you're sitting in now. They were struggling with food cravings. They're struggling with emotional eating, extra weight, low confidence. I don't want you to listen to me. I'm not here to convince you. I want you to listen to them. And that is if I can get my video to play. That is only if I can get my video to play.
I started doing this the middle of January the 16th.
Well, it's not working, you guys. I'm sorry. We're having a problem with the sound, which sucks. Anyway, I can send you guys, we'll send a video out with all the people that share their experience with their weight and just like all the different changes that happen. You know, this isn't a program that just works on weight. This is a program that kind of upgrades, not kind of, it upgrades your entire life. Okay. So people will notice that their relationship with their husband will get better. They feel more confident even before they've lost weight. They just feel more confident. They'll find themselves setting better boundaries, or they'll ask for a raise at work, or they'll meet new friends. Just like everything in their life gets an upgrade when they address these subconscious rules and these subconscious programs that are connected to their weight. Everything else in their life gets better. And I truly believe if you struggle with weight, and if you struggle with emotional eating, that is a spiritual calling for you. I know for me it was, and I have seen and I have experienced and witnessed how when women work with their food cravings and when they heal the traumas that are behind their food cravings, the food cravings are actually taking them to the traumas that are holding them back from living their best life. So you can go to therapy and you can know all your problems. And I got a lot of people that have been to a lot of therapy and a lot of personal growth work. And so they come in, they're like, oh yeah, I know what happened to me. I know this happened. I know that happened. I know, I got to work on this. I was sexually abused, blah, blah, blah. I say, throw all of that out the window, because the food will take you to the traumas that need to be healed. And they're not always the big traumas. Sometimes they're traumas that are as simple as a glass breaking, or a moment that you felt uncomfortable, or a moment that you felt alone in a house. You won't remember it. These don't have to be big traumas, but what I have seen over and over again is as people follow the food cravings, kind of like a roadmap, if they follow the food cravings and they apply the techniques and the signals that I give them in this specific way that I outline in my program, what happens is it clears out that noise and it makes way for you to connect with your higher self. And your higher self finally says, oh my God, she can finally hear me now. That's when you'll be like, I've always wanted to take a dance class. I've always wanted to move to this different city. I've always wanted to be married and I didn't realize that. God, I think we should have another baby. I want to write a book. Why am I holding myself back from writing a book? I've always wanted to climb Mount Everest. You guys, the things the women do as a result of clearing out the food noise in their life, like truly clearing it out, not just from taking a shot, truly clearing it out, is one of the most unbelievable things I have ever witnessed. So that's really what these videos tell, is they tell you a story about the women and the way that the way that their life unfolds as they heal their relationship with food. Okay, so I want to tell you, just before we get into this any further, I want to tell you the pain in the ass thing about working with me. Okay, because I'm not going to give you a long list of what foods to eat or what meal plans to go on or what detoxes to follow. Some of you guys like that structure and you just want to know what you can eat and what you can't eat. You like plans, you like that certainty, and I totally understand. I've been there myself. So this might be a deal breaker for you, but I need you to get results quickly. And what I've noticed is, if you focus on what foods you should and shouldn't eat or what pills to take, you won't get there. Okay. So that's not what I do. And there's plenty of people out there that would be happy they would be happy to tell you what to eat and what pills to take and what shakes to make. I'm just not one of them. Okay. But if I happen to come across somebody that creates the transformation I provide and gives you meals and detoxes, I will definitely let you know. Okay, I just haven't found anybody yet. All right, so here's how it's gonna go when we work together. Okay, we're gonna take it week by week. You come in, I teach you something, you do something. I'll teach you something, you do something, right? Does anybody ever do projects at home? Like the DIY stuff? Okay, here's what you need to know. I'm Home Depot, right? What are you talking about, Brittany? Okay, so what that means is I have every tool that you would possibly need to complete any job. Okay, but when you come in, I don't want you wandering up and down the aisle searching for where to go. Like, should I use this? Should I use that? Anybody ever do that? Okay, so here's what's going to happen. You're going to join and you're going to tell me, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build a birdhouse. Okay, I'm going to say, fantastic. I want you to go to aisle 12, grab that hammer, and you're going to bring me that hammer. Okay, then I'm going to say, take that hammer, hammer that 4 times, and then come back to me. So then you come back to me next week. I say, cool, go put the hammer back and now go to aisle 18. And we're just going to keep doing that until your birdhouse is done. You're not wandering up and down the aisles wondering where stuff is and how you're going to do it. How does that sound? Does anybody appreciate the simplicity of that? Does anybody ever join and you've got like all this stuff coming at you? You're like, where do I start? What's the best way to do this? And you're just like not really sure what to focus on. We don't do that. I'm going to tell you, let's just do this one thing this week. That's all you're going to do. Okay. And then you come back to me, and the next week, I'll give you the next step. Can anybody appreciate the simplicity of that? Yes, 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 yes. Baby steps, easy. Yes. Great. Okay. So then why don't we just do that? I want you to write this down. The truth is always simple. It's lies that are complicated. If anyone's feeling like, I don't know, it sounds too easy, it sounds so simple, it's because it's the truth. In your everyday life, how do you know someone's lying to you? How do you know they're lying? Because the story doesn't make sense, right? It's always this complicated story and all these details are always confusing. The truth is always simple. Same here, guys. 12 years, 247,469 women. Nobody does anything unsuccessfully for more than a decade. The truth is simple. Can you see how the simplicity would make it easier for you to sustain? If I say, hey, Carrie, you want to lose weight? Okay, great. Just do this one thing. That's it. That's all you have to do this week. And we do that for 3 months. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's one thing. It's one thing. Can anyone not see at the end of the 3 months, not only losing weight, because remember, that's not our goal. We're working during those 3 months on the root cause so that the weight that you've lost is permanent weight loss. See, that's the difference. Can you guys see how much easier this makes this? Okay. So I want to officially invite you to the Think and Then Thrive program. Stop emotional eating in 90 days, guaranteed. This is the exact same program that all the people in the videos that you were watching yesterday, not today, went through. This is the program that I'm known for. And I've been trying something brand new over the last couple of months, and it's working really, really well. So I'm only taking a small group of 15 people, I believe Sally and I decided. So there's 289 people on right now. I'm taking 15, okay? And I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. And we've got another, how many did we say? I think there's another 1,200 people that are going to get the replays of this, right? So we're taking 15 people out of basically 1,300 people, 1,400 people. So I'm going to tell you what we're going to do together in a minute, but you're going to have 2 days after this is over to make your final decision, which means that you have until midnight Eastern time to talk to whoever you want to talk it over with and whoever you make your decisions with. But this is a disclaimer. All of the spots have sold out live on every single training I've done so far. There have been 5. Okay. All of the spots have sold out by the time this training is over. So if you're interested, I want you to be aware that this might be your chance to grab this at the discounted price, because I'm not going to make more room at this price. I'm going to offer it to you guys for this price, but you can always join if you like, if you want to join next month or whatever, or you have FOMO, you can always join at full price. Okay. The price just goes back up to 7,500. Okay, so in a moment, I'm gonna answer your questions. I'm gonna answer your comments. I'm gonna answer your concerns that you have, and I'm also gonna tell you the price and how you can make payments if necessary. We're gonna go over all those details shortly. So, as I said before, most of the women that come through my Thrive program, they get rid of all their cravings in the first month. They're never to be seen again. Okay, the next thing that happens is within 2 to 3 months, all of your emotional eating, your cravings, your snacking, your eating at night disappears permanently, and it won't come back either, right? So here's how it works. You join the program, you come in, you make the moves. If you spend the entire first 2 months making all the moves and you don't get results, just turn your homework in and I'll give you all your money back. No questions asked. It's that simple. I believe in this program so much, you guys, that I'm willing to take all the risk for you. You guys could screw me. You could go through almost the entire program, get everything you want. You could stop your cravings, end emotional eating, lose weight, come to me and say, I didn't get my results. I have made this as foolproof as possible. Because you know what? If it doesn't work, we didn't earn your money. No problem. Once you're inside the program, there's nothing for you to worry about. I have already done all the thinking for you. All you have to do is show up. Okay, we spoke earlier about how people can get stuck or they lose motivation when they buy an online program, right? And this frustrates me so much to see people not follow through when they literally have the solutions in their hand. This is like, oh. So who has this fear? I know a lot of you said you had this fear, like this will just be another something else I buy and then I won't follow through with it. Okay, so that is such a good question and it's such a good concern, and I want to cover it because I'm also going to talk to you about the program in a minute, and I'm also going to share some other gifts. Okay, we didn't always have this, but I decided that it was something that could be really beneficial for you guys, and I am committed to having a 100% success rate for the Thrive program. Do you know what my team and I do when we get together? My team and I get together once every couple of months and we have meetings. Do you know what we talk about? How to make you more successful. Literally everybody from my tech guy, from my marketing, head of marketing, all of my coaches, customer service. That's all we talk about is how to make you more successful. And so honestly, I don't know how long we're going to have this for. We are still a small operation. But we have room for it for this round. We still have room for it. And so I can promise it to you guys if you sign up for this round. Okay. So bonus number 1 is your personal progress partner. Okay. Your personal progress partner, Brittany, what's that? All right, listen, your personal progress partner is my right hand. Okay. Everybody, I want you to write down personal progress partner. Their sole purpose is to turn problems into progress. Okay, like I said, I haven't always had this, and we're adding it back in for now as a bonus. Because when you join in this round only, you are going to have a personal progress partner. Actually, she's here in the comments. Her name is Sally, and she's been answering some of your questions. So what does that mean? Well, a personal progress partner means that you're going to have someone who their sole existence is to wake up every day and make sure you stay on track. That's it. They check in with you, they motivate you, they help you when you're stuck, and they hold you accountable. Any questions, comments, concerns you have, they will make sure you have answers. Their whole job is to make sure that if you choose to do this for yourself, this is the last thing that you ever need. That's their only job. She doesn't have any other job. That's it. Okay, show of hands. How many of you guys agree that one of the biggest issues you've had in the past is that when you start something, You are, you're really motivated at first, right? Like you're inspired, maybe you're even a little pissed off. So you make a decision. You decide that you're going to do something about it and you commit to it. And then what happens? Some time passes, right? Maybe it's a week, maybe it's a month, maybe it's 6 months. And then you're not really as motivated as you were and you just kind of fall off of it, right? Why is that? Because you're the only one who knows. You're the only one that's keeping you on track, right? Sometimes your spouse, your partner doesn't even know. Maybe you mentioned something, but they're not checking in with you regularly. That's not going to happen anymore. When you get your personal progress partner, their entire existence is they wake up and they wonder, I wonder how Katie's doing today. That's their only job. You guys, how many of you guys would agree if you had somebody who their sole existence, like for instance, J-Lo, you ever think like, oh my God, how does she look like that? I wish I could look like that in my 50s. Well, yeah, it's pretty easy when you hire somebody whose sole job it is to cook your food and make sure they work out every single day, right? If that's someone else's job, how could you fail? That's why they look like that. Now you can have access to that too. You do the work, you make the moves, you get the results. No one who's ever made the moves has failed. And your personal progress partner will make sure that you're there and that you're making the moves. And anytime you're stuck, anytime you have a problem, they turn your problems into progress. Y'all, you couldn't pay how much do you think you would have to pay your mom to call and check in on you every day? Your mama wouldn't even do this. She's not going to personally progress partner you for nothing, maybe a week if you're lucky. So how much do you think this will cost? Type in the chat. How much do you think this will cost? I know for JLo, it costs a small fortune. Absolutely nothing. I have taken care of the cost for you. I want everybody to write down personal progress partner so that when you leave here, you can tell your spouse or whoever you check finances with, this is the last time I'll ever need anything. I'm good to go. Okay. That's what a personal progress partner does. Okay. Bonus number 2 is transformation tune-ups. This is a set of audios and tap-alongs for those moments that come out of nowhere. Okay. Someone brings home a big cake. There's a party that you have to go to. You get asked out on a date. You're at work. You didn't pack a lunch. And it kicks you off into this downward spiral. Right? It's also for those moments that hit you, like when everybody goes to sleep and you can't stop eating everything in the pantry, like what we talked about yesterday. Or maybe when you're going to visit your family and you're not going to be able to stop eating all the food. How many of you guys have experienced this in the past? Right? You just know, you're like, oh, I know I'm going to overdo it. It's for those moments in everyday life that spiral you out of control. That's not going to happen anymore. Because now you're going to have transformation tune-ups, which is basically like having me in your pocket at all times so that you can go out, you can enjoy the party, you can have the drinks, you can visit your family, you can be in the world and enjoy the world. Because any unexpected moments that pop up, you've got me in your pocket to give you the taps, just like we did yesterday and today. I've created this so that you guys never fall off track. Guys, 12 years, almost 250,000 women. I have already figured everything out for you. Okay? All right. So this next bonus is one of my favorites. I'm going to give you guys 5 tools and something that I like to call waistline wonders, which is basically like my most powerful fat loss hacks that actually work. Now, when you sever the ties to emotional eating and you no longer have cravings and you don't eat at night and your body knows it's safe to be thin, there are 5 tools that are necessary for you to not lose weight, because cancer patients lose weight. You want to lose fat, okay? And that's a big differentiation that you're going to learn in this part of the program. So we've put these tools together for you. And the first one, which is one of my favorites, is I call it lose 10 pounds in a bottle. It's basically anytime I stop taking the supplement, I gain 10 pounds. And our students say the same thing. So I'm not going to go super into it because your personal progress partner will tell you when it's time for you to get started with this part of the program. Okay, so before we get into the final bonus, I want to remind you that we only have 15 spots and you have until Tuesday at midnight EST. Actually, I don't want to say that. You have until probably the end of this training to decide because there's only 15 spots and we've sold out every single time. Okay. And I can tell there's some fast action takers in here. And I know if you really want this, I would not wait. Okay. All right. So the surprise bonus number 4 is study buddies. Okay. Study buddies. Isn't everything more fun with friends? What if you could meet and learn with people just like you? What if every week, instead of listening to the module alone, you could tune in and listen with a group of friends and a coach who could guide you through that week's material? How do you think that would make a difference in your motivation levels? You have a coach there that can answer your questions, help you see your blind spots. What if every single week you had a group of friends that you couldn't wait to check in with? The Thrive community becomes so tight as you guys meet each other and go through the program together. This is how you really solidify your relationships with each other. Because y'all are cool. Like attracts like. You guys are just like me. You're studying cool things, you're reading cool books, you're going on cool trips, you're starting interesting projects. This really becomes a community of family, which was it was really surprising to me in the first year that we started putting this part of the program together. I had no idea how bonding this part of the program would be for so many women. We're isolated now more than ever, and we are not meant to be alone, right? We're meant to live in tribes. We thrive in tribes. So I want you to think about the Thrive program like your own personal tribe. You will have a community of women who understand you, they are like you, and they are wanting that connection and that closeness too. You don't have to be worried if somebody's going to text you back or not. She wants to text you back. She's going to text you back. We have so many women who report meeting their new best friends in this program. They celebrate holidays together. I see the photos in Facebook all the time. They travel just to meet each other. They just so happen to live a few hours away from each other or even closer sometimes. This is my favorite part of the program. Okay, so I see a lot of you guys have questions. I'm going to get to all of your questions. I promise I'm going to get to all of your questions. So I want to go over the investment now. Okay. So your investment for your last day to ever struggle with emotional eating ever again is just $3,000. Okay. And as I say that price, I can feel y'all booties getting a little tight, right? Maybe you feel like, oh my God, I can't come up with that kind of money right now. How am I going to come up with that? And in a minute, I'm going to share with you some special discounts that I'm offering and how you can get a payment plan if that works better for you. Okay. So the question is this, is $3,000 a lot of money? Well, I don't know, because expense is relative, right? It depends on what you're going to receive. And you have to determine for yourself what having a body you're confident in, unwavering self-esteem, dating again, reigniting your relationship, being a good example for your children is worth to you. Would you rather have those things or $3,000? Because you're going to make $3,000 regardless, right? How many of you guys know how much you'll make this year? I mean, I think most of us probably do, right? You can't get a mortgage or even rent if you don't know how much money you're going to make every month. So, okay, so you know with certainty that $3,000 is going to come into your bank account regardless, right? So let me ask you this. Next year, so a year from today, will that $3,000 that you get paid next month, will that $3,000 be in your bank account next year? You may have $3,000 in your bank account, but will that $3,000 be in your bank account? No, probably not. Okay, so that means you will have spent $3,000 on something. The question is that $3,000 that you spent, is it going to give you more of something that matters? Or is it going to give you more of something that doesn't matter? Because that money's going to be spent. It's just, what am I going to spend it on? And what I choose to spend it on, will it really make a difference in my life a year from now? And y'all, I can't answer that for you. But what I can tell you is that for more than a decade, I've helped almost 250,000 women make that choice. And they feel, I can't tell you what you should feel, but they come back to me and tell me it was the best decision they ever made. And if they were given the chance, they would do it all over again. They'd do it twice as fast and they'd pay twice as much. Because let me tell you something, there is no price on how you feel about yourself. How you show up in this world affects everything you do. Okay, so I'm going to give you the link to reserve your spot soon. But before I do that, I want to give you a special discount, like I mentioned. So I know a lot of you guys are in my 6-week program. Okay, and I have some really good news. So you don't have to come up with all of that money right now, because for this class only, I am dropping $800 off the price when you pay in full, making the program just $2,200. And if you're a student, you can apply the entire $300 that you paid for this 6-week program towards the cost of the Thrive program by using a coupon code that I'm going to share with you in a minute, making it just $1,900 if you're a student. Okay. And I know some of y'all only pay $200 for the program, but that's okay. I'm giving you $300 towards the price of this program. Okay. So here, I'm going to put the link in now. Tell me, you guys, if you can click that link, make sure that you can click it. And here is the code. The code is student. If you're a student, we will be checking to make sure you're a student if you use this code. So type this code, this coupon code, and it will drop it from $2,200 to $1,900. Okay. So now I'm going to hang out and I'm going to answer your questions. So type them in the chat. I will hang out and I will answer questions as long as you guys have them. Okay. So, okay, I'm just going to scroll up. So what questions do you have? We have in the program, in the Thrive program, actually, we have your personal progress partner. You have your own VIP. You have your own VIP email that goes directly, and you have you have basically telephone access to us 24/7. So anytime you have a problem with something, you can tap a button and you can reach one of our staff. So that's not the same with the 6-week program. So I saw some people asking the difference between the 6-week program and the Thrive program. The 6-week program is an online program it's like self-paced. There's no support. You just have access to 6 of my techniques, 6 of my signals. Okay. In the Thrive program, it's much more extensive. I discovered more signals when I created this program later. I discovered more signals, and it comes with all of the support. Okay. So it's a 3-month program that we give you 6 months to complete, because obviously things happen, life happens, things get in the way. So we give you a full 6 months to complete the program, but you have access to your personal progress partner. You have these study buddy groups. So the reason that we only take 15 people is because you guys are all going to start as a cohort. So everybody that's here on the training, all of you guys that are going to join, you guys are going to create your study buddy group. Okay. So you guys will get to know each other over the coming months, and you'll be doing the work together. You'll be starting from zero together and working with the coach together. Okay. And I know last week we did have a problem with Google with the Android app, but that should be fixed by now. We had a problem for about a week with the Android app, and they just needed an update from me, and I didn't get the message. So we don't have tech problems normally, but we're a company like everybody else, and we have problems sometimes. I'm not Apple, so okay. Let's see. I want to try to get to all the questions. Let's see. I'm already eating healthy. I just don't really snack at work. And Okay, I'm already eating healthy and I don't really snack or eat junk. I work out. I feel like I'm doing all I can for my health, food, and fitness wise, but the weight won't budge. Will this still be the right program for me? Yeah, I mean, Kelsey, that's exactly like you're exactly who we're meant for. Yeah, the weight won't budge because your body doesn't know that it's safe to release the weight. So that's a very, very common. Sometimes people don't even really have that much weight to lose, or maybe they have like 10 or 15 pounds that they're struggling with, and they're like, I don't know why, I just can't reach my goal weight. That was my experience. Maybe at my most had like 20 pounds to lose. And so that was the key thing for me, was figuring out all these different signals. And for me, my safety was only 20 pounds. Some people's safety is 50 or 100 pounds. So, I don't know how much weight you have to lose, but you absolutely are a perfect candidate for this program. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I would be interested, but there's a language barrier. I understand English. Yeah, we only have it in English for right now. I have a German coach, but nobody that speaks French right now. Yeah, so we're just talking about the Thrive program. If you have if you're on my email list, you'll get access to the 6-week program. So I just want to stay focused on talking about the Thrive program and answering any questions that people have about that. I know this program is needed, but I can't afford that investment. No problem, Deb. Oh, there's also a payment plan too. So if you guys want to make payments, you don't get that big discount, but I think it's $500 a month for 6 months. So there is actually a lower priced payment plan if you guys are like, hey, I really want to do this, but I just can't afford that upfront investment right now. You're welcome, Anna. I'm so glad it was helpful for you. Okay, awesome. So if you join, or when you join, please tell me here in the chat that you have joined, because again, we only have 15 spots available, and let's see, there's a lot more people that are going to get this. So let's see. Okay, Kathy said I have joined. Yay, Kathy, congratulations. Woo! I can't wait to be with you in the class. Judy, you can have until Tuesday if we don't fill all the spots today. And honestly, I've never done one of these where all the spots don't go. So, again, we have that money back guarantee. If you come in and if you try it and you do the homework and the techniques and the moves aren't working for you, you can get 100% of your money back. That we stand by the guarantee. It doesn't happen often, but we absolutely will give you your money back. So I want everybody to feel super, super confident that when you come into this program, that you will get the support. $1,900 if you are a student. So here, let me share with you the, let me share with you the link again. Here's the link. And the discount code is student. Okay. Here you go. Just type in student if you are a 6-week student. So I'm giving you $300 toward that you paid. So the 6-week program is either $200 or $300 depending on when you buy it. And I'm giving you that $300 that you paid for if you're a 6-week student, you can apply that towards the cost of the Thrive program. Otherwise, it's $2,200. Okay, Deb joined. Yay! Awesome. Yeah, we've started creating an account. You should hear back from us in 24 hours. Okay, Sally, who's on the call, Sally's your personal progress partner, and she's actually here on the call. Sally has an amazing transformation. I just love so much that she's here. Sally, this is a really cool story about Sally. Sally worked with me, let's see, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And I remember the first laser coaching call she was on. I saw this woman, and she was in the center of my screen. She was like looking like this, and she was scowling at me, scowling. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a problem student. So Sally was pissed. And unbeknownst to me, she had lost her husband, who she'd only, I think, been with for a couple of years. They've met each other later in life, and he suddenly passed away, and she was absolutely heartbroken. And she spent 3 or 4 years coping with her feelings through food. And she was in a really, really dark place. And through going through the program, she was able to identify these behaviors and heal her grief from losing her husband. And it's so interesting. We both went back and we watched her transformation in the live laser coaching calls, because she would come to every call with me. Every call, she would be there. And over time, she would sit up a little bit taller. The light in her face came back. Do you guys remember yesterday when I showed you the light in my eyes? The light started to sparkle and come into her eyes. Within a year, she lost 90 pounds, you guys. She lost 90 pounds. She loves this program so much that she came to me. She said, Brittany, you have problems with this program. People need more support, and I'm going to make it better. So she actually, no, she asked me for a job. She asked me for a job as a coach, and I didn't have enough students to give her a job as a coach. So she started just working for free. She got in the program and she said, okay. And she started hosting buddy calls, the study buddy groups. She started hosting those just for free by herself. And the students loved it. They loved learning with the cohort. They loved learning with other students. They loved that they had somebody that had so much success and so many results walk them through it. And everybody just got, like, the students became way more successful because of that. So I absolutely love working with Sally. She loves this. This is like one of her best life callings. She's one of the most amazing students I've ever worked with. You guys will absolutely love working with her. She is, she's so full of love and joy and exuberance, and she's so good at problem solving. She will tell you, she's really good too at like tuning into you and figuring out what you need in that moment. And she doesn't give the same advice for everybody. Also too, when you join, I didn't talk about this in the bonuses, but everybody gets calls with me. So twice a month, that Home Depot example that I gave you, twice a month, you're going to have calls with me. And we literally do that. I say, okay, come to me, tell me what your problem is. All right, I want you to just focus on this one thing. And I'm giving you customized prescriptions, okay, of what to do and to go away, what to do for that week or that 2 weeks or that month. And I'm creating challenges for you guys. So sometimes I'll put you in groups and I'll say, okay, I want everybody to work on this particular thing. And there'll be 10 or 15 of you guys that'll join together, and you'll all hold each other accountable. And you'll and you go through the customized prescription that I give you. When these are completed, nobody ever fails. Nobody ever comes back and go, Brittany, that didn't work for me. Okay, this is bulletproof. These systems are bulletproof. The hardest part is to actually do it, but if you do it, it always works. Oh, the other thing that I want to say too is that I've just done this a couple of times, but once you register, once you join, you're going to see a second video to purchase one-on-one coaching sessions. This is optional. I have never done, I know I did this one other time in my last one. I'm giving you coaching sessions, one-on-one coaching sessions for my cost. I make zero money on this. Okay. I want you guys to have access. If you have the extra money available, I want you to have access to one-on-one coaching if you can. It's not necessary. You don't need it to have success, but if you can get some one-on-one coaching sessions, again, this is available to you at my cost. We only have 4 coaches, so I'm going to run out of this offer at some point. Like, the coaches are going to get full and we're not going to be able to offer this again. So if you see that video after you join, if you see that video, and you can swing it financially, definitely grab it. I highly encourage you to grab that. This is another change that we've just made recently. Thank you, Rhonda, for sharing your success. I followed Brittany for many years and wanted to join, but didn't have the money. I lost 50 pounds with tapping and I never came back, but I still had some health related issues and I kept working on my emotional eating. So I kept coming to the free trainings. I even got to work with Brittany live one time, but she told me not to join at that time as I was struggling with the rent. Yeah. I don't want anybody choosing to buying this when they have to pay their rent, or feed themselves. things changed and I had the money, and I'm so glad I'm in the Thrive program for 2 months now. It's definitely worth it. Work in progress. Thank you, Rhonda, for sharing that. I really appreciate you sharing your experience. Okay, who else? Let's see. I had this easy wrong. Oh my God, Ingrid joined. Yay! Welcome, Ingrid. Awesome. And you got the coaching. Good. I'm so glad you did that. Oh my gosh. Totally, totally. It's so worth it to take advantage of that. I've literally never offered coaching for this price ever again. Sally's been with me. I think Sally started learning under me 4 years ago. And then she went through the coach certification. Sally, by the way, you guys, Sally paid $9,000 for this program. Okay, like this program used to be a lot more expensive. She did a 6 week, she did the coaching certification. I make my coaches go through it twice, and before they can actually be hired and work for me. So there are very few people that can actually implement the techniques and the coaching that I deliver. There's only people that that I trust to be representatives of me, because you guys are working on some really, really deep issues. We talk about sexual trauma a lot. It didn't come up a whole lot in this week, in this workshop's training. But you know, we talk about that a lot. And Sally said, I did pay $9,000 worth it. Yeah, you're right. See, Sally said it's worth it for even the $9,000. I can't remember what I was talking about. Oh, the sexual trauma. Yeah. So the students, um, the coaches have the training to work on really, really deep issues like sexual trauma, or you know, the tribal trauma, like what we were dealing with Nikki today. That's genetic trauma that's been passed on. And most therapists, most coaches, there's no other even person that teaches tapping that knows how to deal with those things. But my coaches do, because they've been trained by me. I've trained them to think like me. I've trained them to heal like me. I've trained them to look for clues the way that I look for them. And so all the ones who work for me internally are the ones that I felt like were the best. We have, you know, maybe 100 or so coaches that have gone through the coach certification, but I only hire the ones that are the best. Okay. Yeah, Jennifer, if you're feeling tired, I know this is an exhausting this is an exhausting training. Tapping can be exhausting when you're finally releasing all these things that you've held on to for so long. Okay, who else has questions? Our coaches are the best. Oh my gosh. Who else has questions about the program? You can ask me anything. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, looks like we've got 10 people that have joined. Some people, if you joined, please share it with us in the group. Please share it with us in the group if you've joined, because I only have seen 3 or 4 people share it with us, and I see more here. Okay. Oh, 11. There's 11 that joined. Okay. Christina, yay! Christina joined. Welcome, Christina. Amazing. Amazing. Welcome. I can't wait to work with you. Okay. Martha, yeah, we don't take away your access to the program. So if you joined the coaching program in 2021, then yeah, as long as you were paid up on it. If you paused it because of financial reasons, then you would just have to get current with your payments, and then you can have access to it. Yeah. Okay. So if you just started the 6-week program, what you do is you go to this link here. I'll share it again. You go to this link and you just type in student, and it'll give you, basically you can apply what you paid for the 6-week program towards the cost of the Thrive program. So you just put in this coupon code here. Okay, I paid in full. Okay, Martha, awesome. You'll get a receipt from us. Just give the email system a little bit. Sometimes when we have a lot of people buying all at once, the email system needs a minute to calibrate and to get all the emails out. But you'll get it. You'll get it. And we've got a great customer service team. Okay, who else has questions? I did join. Oh, Kathy joined too. Awesome. Complimenting the extra one-on-one. So that's something. So Kathy, if you joined and then you didn't take us up on that offer because I didn't explain it fast enough, no problem. When you talk to Sally, everybody's going to get an intro call with Sally. So when you talk to Sally, she's going to she'll have access to that, and you can buy it specially through her. Okay, she'll have access to that, so you can go back to that same link. Okay, who else has questions? We still have 130 people on the call. Maybe some of you guys got distracted, but let's see. I have an appointment to talk about Ozempic. Well, Ozempic is going to cost you a whole lot more. I have a lot of students who join who, Nancy joined. Welcome, Nancy. Woo! Yay, Nancy. I'm so excited to work with you. Yay. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for believing in me. And thank you for being here and spending this time with us. So yeah, we actually have a lot of students who are getting off Ozempic through the program. So that is something, if you do get on, I don't discourage that. It's not my choice, but if you're on it, I can actually, in our laser coaching calls, I can explain to you how to titrate off of Ozempic, because my techniques work the exact same way as Ozempic. You just don't have to keep putting chemicals in your body for the rest of your life. Okay, so one cool thing you can do, it's kind of like a hack, is you could start something like Ozempic, get that like to kickstart your body and to, I don't know exactly what it does, but it seems like it manages inflammation and does something with your insulin. So you'll get some benefits from that. And then what you do is you titrate off of it and you use my techniques as the hunger comes back up. Because that's what happens, is the hunger, it stops the food noise and it stops the hunger, but it's only when you're on the medicine. And from what I understand, when you're on it, after you're on it for like a year or so, your hunger actually comes back. That stops happening. So regardless, you're gonna have to address the food noise and you're gonna have to address the emotional eating issues no matter what. So you can either spend the $300 a month doing that, or you can put that money towards something like this and then solve it permanently. See, the thing is with this, when you do this, you don't ever have to do this work again. Okay, we don't keep you, like, you don't have to keep tapping and keep doing these techniques for the rest of your life. Once you're done, you're done. Like, you don't have to keep doing the you don't have to keep doing the techniques in order for it to stick like you do with other things, right? Okay, hope that makes sense. Yeah, Laurel, if you can swing it and do both, I would love to help you with that. That's something that I've been there's a couple students in our Thrive program that I've been helping them get off of that. Yes, I'll send the link again. Here's the coupon code if you're a student, and here's the thing. Yep. There you go. Okay. Oh, this is sweet. Shell said, I just want to talk about the healing center that you mentioned in the self-sabotage workshop. The moment that you mentioned that, it felt so eerily familiar. I could totally see it in my mind's eye, but it really felt like I had been there before. Ooh, that's juicy. I love that, Shell. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, I mean, I think I shared yesterday, I don't always talk about this, but my techniques were like, I thought that I was making them up, but years later I realized that these techniques were given to me. Like, they came through me, they were not from me. And so it is really interesting how, when I've come across other healing modalities, how in some ways my techniques are similar to these other healing modalities that I'd never studied before, that I'd never heard of before. So, you know, I truly think that a lot of the things that we do in this program are divine. That's my sense of it anyway. Jennifer, what if somebody needs to reverse diet? I dug myself into a hole with dieting, and when I try to add more calories, my body keeps wanting to gain weight, even though I undereat for my height and activity level. You know, Jennifer, that's not my specialty. I would say if you're really good at following a food plan, and if you don't struggle with cravings, if you are like, if somebody tells you, okay, I want you to eat these meals 3 times a day and, you know, no snacking, and you are able to follow it like to a T, then I would say work with a nutritionist or a fitness expert on that, because they can teach you exactly how to reverse diet, because that's really challenging. You know, for somebody to just add 100 extra calories a day for a week, you have to be really tracking rigorously, and you really can't have any disordered food relationship. So if that's you, then work with a fitness or nutritionist. If you struggle with food, and if it's hard to stick to a plan when somebody gives it to you, then like don't even worry about reverse dieting. You've got to focus on the food noise, and you've got to focus on changing those signals, healing your subconscious mind, letting that reptilian brain know that it's safe to actually lose the weight. Then all the other stuff, what I find is that when you do that, the body knows that it's safe to lose weight, and it like the calories end up like you only eat the amount of calories that your body actually needs. Oh, Kelly joined. Kelly, welcome, Kelly. Yay. Welcome, Kelly. Thanks so much for being here, for trusting me. Does that make sense, Jennifer? A student discount to seniors. You know what, Nancy, I don't have an extra discount right now. It was the program is 3,000. We can do a $500 a month payment. But you know, dropping it $1,100 basically is kind of the discount for everybody. But yeah, we have some lower priced programs. I mean, the 6-week program is $297. So maybe that would be a good place for you to start. So I understand the student is paying 2,200, not 19. No, the student is paying 1,900. So when you pay in full, so the program is 3,000. I give you an $800 discount when you pay in full, and then a $300 discount on top of that when you are a student. Or I think if you're a student and you want to pay monthly, it drops down to $450 a month. I forgot about that. So it's $450 a month for, I think we give you 6 months to pay it off. So you don't have to pay it off in 3 months. We give you 3 extra months to pay it off. So if you wanted a lower priced payment plan, then yeah, then we have that available. Just put the student in and put the $3,000 payment, I think. Yeah, and then that'll give you the monthly, put the student in, and it'll come out to $450 a month. Yeah, I'm sorry. The discount that we have is the biggest discount that we have, guys. I wish I could do that. Otherwise, I can't pay my staff, and I can't get my ads out in front of you so that you guys know about my information. I already signed up for the 6-week program. I did say that would be applied to Thrive. Yes, Nancy. So this is the link for the Thrive program, and just put student in the discount code area, and then you'll get that discount. Okay. Who else has, oh, Judy joined. Judy, welcome. Judy, thanks for trusting us. Judy, I think your payment went through twice. Don't worry, we'll refund you one of those. You can see that maybe you were so excited that you were pushing the button a couple times. Don't worry, we'll get one of those refunded for you. Congrats, Judy! Yay! Yeah, sorry. You know what? This is the first time a senior discount has even come up. So I don't know if that's just this particular group. Nobody's ever mentioned that, but that is definitely something that I'll talk to with my staff. Yeah, Shell, I think you said you joined, right? So we'll see each other in the Facebook group. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the best way if you want to start working with me is to start with my 6-week program. So if you guys need a lower priced program, the thing is we can't offer this amount of support for a cheaper price. It used to be $9,000 and we've found a way to make it $1,900 and give you guys even more support. So we're limited on what we can do. But you know, we have lower price programs. I think we even have a discount to get the 6-week program for $197 that we sometimes send out to our email list. So just take a look for that. If you want to get started on this, but you want a lower priced program, just make sure that you open all the emails that I send you, because we do often send discounts in the emails. So here's the link again. There's the student code. Okay, shoot, I gotta count and make sure that we've got enough. Hold on, we may have filled up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, you guys, we've got 2 more spots available. We've got 2 more spots available. Who's gonna take these 2 spots? Your pricing is so accessible compared to so many other programs out there. Thank you, Shell. I agree. I agree. We really try to keep our payments, our programs as low as we can afford as a company. Rhonda said, if you really want to join, the universe can make a way for you like it did for me. Thank you, Rhonda. Yeah, I'm so glad. I know Rhonda was coming to my webinars for like 4 or 5 years. And then she finally joined. All right. Do something scary. Yes. Oh, cool. Sharon. Sharon joined with payments. Awesome. Welcome, Sharon. Yay. What time and days are the calls? They are at differing times. We get the American time. I think it's at 12 and 7 p.m. Eastern. So we hit Europe can join one call, and Australia, New Zealand can join one call a month. And then America and Canada, it works for both calls. So that timing works for both calls. All right, who's gonna take those last 2 spots? I'm so curious. Got 93 people. Sharon joined. I saw your payment, Sharon. Yay. I'm so glad you took advantage of the payment plan. The calls are live. The calls with me are live. Yeah. The calls with me twice a month are live. Yep. Bella, you want to go outside? My dog is trying to get outside. Yay. I can't, and you guys are going to be a cohort together. So you guys are going to be meeting each other. Sometimes people start making friends in the chat. That's really fun to watch. Cool. Who else is going to take the last 2 spots? I'm so excited for you guys to start. This is so fun. Okay, what other questions do you have? We've got 89 people on. What are your burning questions? Let's see here. Hold on. Okay, anybody else have questions? I started your webinars. Even every time I get a little bit more out of it, I do understand the cost when I win. When I win the big one, I'm in. Awesome. How fast does it start? I joined. I just want to schedule. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you'll get an email from us right away, and then within the next couple of days, you'll hear from Sally, and she will schedule you with a call. You guys will schedule a call together, and she'll walk you through the program. She'll show you how to access the membership site. She'll walk you around. She'll get to know you, and she'll kind of give you like a customized roadmap for how to work the program. We have a lot of different offerings. We have buddy groups. You might want to work with a group. You might be the type of person that really wants to meet people and work with a group, or you might be the type of person that just like really wants to self-study and you're like, I don't want all this commitment. So We also have things where we do buddy triads where we'll introduce you to a couple other people, or you'll introduce yourself in Facebook and she'll tell you how to introduce yourself into Facebook, and then you can pair up with other buddies and hold each other accountable. And she'll also tell you about the cohorts, the study cohorts that are starting. And yeah, so that's how it works. So you get your hand held a lot through the program. Yeah, there is a way to stretch out the payment plan. I'm not a student, but would like to pay longer. We don't have it set up to pay longer than 6 months right now, just because that's a whole bunch of tech programming, and my tech, I already set everything up, so I can't make customized payment plans for people. So yeah, right now, if you're not a student, it's $500 a month. The program is 3 months, and we stretch the payments out over 6 months. This is the Think and Thin Thrive program. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to give the link again for anybody else that wants to take those last 2 spots. Yes. Okay. What other questions do you have? See, I'm just trying to make sure. I'm just trying to track the payment. How many times have you done the 7-day tapathon challenge? A lot. A lot. Yeah, a lot. But I like them. I like doing these things live. I like talking to you guys, and I like the energy of helping. I mean, this is my dharma. This is the thing that I was born to do, and I'm really, really lucky that I've been able to do this for 13 years now. And I get so much fulfillment out of it in terms of spirituality, in terms of emotional fulfillment. It definitely gives my life a lot of meaning and purpose. So yeah, I feel really, really lucky to be able to do this and to be able to give you guys such an amazing solution. There's nobody else on the planet that offers a solution like I do. And I think, once people come to these trainings and they do the techniques and they experience the shifts, they see that. And most people here have tried a lot of things. They've been to a lot of therapy. You've done a lot of healing. You've done all the hypnosis. Maybe you've even tapped with other people. And the work that I do is different. And so I feel so blessed and so grateful that I get to be the one that can help you heal an addiction that most people say is not healable. There's so many studies that say you can't heal addiction, but here in my world, we can. We can heal it permanently and it doesn't come back. And so yeah, I mean, it is a lot of work, but I also get really, really energized from doing this stuff. I take a long break tomorrow. I definitely have tomorrow off. So I take time off after I do these, but yeah, yeah, it's a joy. It's a joy. All right. Who else has questions? It's funny that I've had so many of my comments read. I'm very grateful for that. One question I've asked about 5 times for some reason that has a cloaking device is, can you put weight on with these techniques? Oh, is there a script with a 6-week program for that? Can you put weight on? I've never had anybody ask me that. I'd have to think about it more. And I think you said you're in the Thrive program. So if that's something that you want to work on, just bring it up when we talk on the live laser coaching call. And I can think about it then. I'm in a different mode right now, but when I'm on that call, I'm in like healing channeling mode, and I'll have an answer for you. It might not be something that you'll be able to do right away, but as you go through the program and as you learn the techniques, I can tell you how to apply the different techniques for that problem. Okay. Son needs to put on weight. Yeah. Yeah, I don't often when guys need to put on weight, they have to eat past their hunger cues. And I've had boyfriends that are bodybuilders. And so if yeah, it's really a function of overriding your body's natural cues, which is not something tapping would do. Tapping doesn't work like NLP or hypnosis. It won't like subconsciously program you to do something that's not good for you. Like you can't get it to do something that's not actually good for your highest self. Like that's why I know that it's a divine technique, because um unlike these other things like hypnosis and NLP where you can get people to like bark like a dog, or you know, hit on women, or however people use those things, you can't tapping won't make you do something that's not for your highest and best good. It's just, I've never seen it happen. If there's trauma that's making them undereat, then that would work. So yeah, that's why I said I'd have to talk to you about it in person, because there's a lot of details that would make this, you know, different. Okay, cool. Let's see. I'm really good at following what to eat. Okay, Julie, let's see. I'm really good at following what to do and what to eat, how much I eat. I eat very healthy, I'm active, but I can't seem to shake any of the weight that I have gained over the last year despite not changing anything. I'm 42. Is this something for me? Julie, have you been here all weekend? I just asked that because I feel like, okay. I mean, can you tell me why you would think it's not for you? Because you're describing, like, you're describing the type of person that this is perfect for. So if you do all the right things and you're not getting the results, that's who works best with this program. So I think if you get more clear on like maybe what your hesitation is or what your questions are, or like if there's a part of it that you feel like might not work for you, maybe ask me that question and it'll help you get a better answer. I will stay on. I will stay. I will stay on. It seems like you said it will help people eat less and stop binge eating. Yes. Yes, that's true. And if your body doesn't think that it's safe, if your body thinks it's safer to hold on to extra weight, it doesn't matter how little you eat or how good you are on your diet or how much you exercise, your body won't release the weight. So remember when we're talking about the reptilian brain and the safety mechanisms, sounds like your reptilian brain doesn't know yet that it's safe to be a smaller size. So, but also, I don't know, how much weight are we talking about? Like, if you're trying to lose 5 pounds with this, then your body might just be like, yo, like we need some extra weight. So I have seen where people are kind of like bordering body dysmorphia, and maybe they, you know, they think they need to lose weight, but they don't actually need to lose weight. Those people will struggle because, again, these techniques will never uh, program you to do something that's not for your highest and best good. And so if your body is, you know, if it's healthier for you to have some extra weight on your body, which, you know, women, we typically do have more weight on our body than men do comparatively. And if you're just trying to lose like 5 or 7 pounds, yeah, sometimes people will get those results. If your body, yeah, 15 pounds, that's significant enough. And if it's a true 15 pounds, like if it's really 15 pounds or you just think it's 15 pounds, like what are you comparing it to? You know, is it like, what's your BMI? Sometimes people think like, oh, if I just lost 10 pounds, but they don't actually really need to lose 10 or 15 pounds. So yeah, I think that'll be a personal choice, I think. And you know, what I would do is I would base it off of the things that I've said and the experiences you had. Did you, if when you went through the techniques, did you have an experience? Did you have a shift? Did the words that I say resonate with you? If they did, then, and if it speaks to you, I think your higher self and your subconscious mind knows better than I do or even you do whether this is right for you. So the way that I like to make decisions, usually if I'm like kind of not sure, I try to get out of my head and I try to just listen to what my body is telling me. If my body is like, yes, this is something to do, then I usually will follow that advice. Pre-children, Julie, you so much crying. Okay, so yeah. If you had a very emotional experience on the webinar, then I would definitely say that this is something that would be great for you. You know, most people that have a strong reaction to this are are a really good fit. Yeah. So yeah, I hope you join us, Julie. Oh, I see Barbara just joined. Welcome, Barbara. Congratulations. Barbara didn't send a message. She just joined and didn't say anything. Um, let's see. When sexual abuse is an issue, can the work on this impact the fallout from sexual abuse, such as self-hate, low self-esteem, I don't care attitude? 100% Nancy. That's exactly what it does, actually. See, we don't work on low self-esteem directly. What we do is we work on the traumas that cause the low self-esteem. Do you remember day one where I was talking about, where I showed you the photos of myself and how the experiences caused these underlying beliefs about low self-esteem? What we do is we work, the food will take us to those traumas, those memories, and those experiences. And then when, and it's such a beautiful, I wish I could explain this better, but the food will take us to the right traumas that need to be healed in order for us to be our highest and best self. Okay. So that's why I love when people have food issues. I love when people have addiction, because I'm like, oh my God, you don't need to spend years in therapy. You just need to follow the cravings, follow the food, follow the disordered eating, because that is literally leading the path for you to live your highest and best life experience. So yeah, so that's what we do, is we work with the sexual trauma, and when we heal that, you know, things like low self-esteem obviously get resolved, but also other things, you know, also other things like a lot of people have better relationships with their partners. For me, I went from not enjoying sex at all to really liking sex. Um, I mean, there's so many there's so many unexpected changes that happen. So yeah, I would definitely say that yeah, if you know sex, I wish when I was going through this program that I created is the exact program that I wish I had access to when I was going through my weight struggle. I had been sexually abused by my stepdad and my stepbrother, and like multiple guys in high school, got drunk, passed out, got taken advantage of. I had no idea those things were causing my weight. I just thought I didn't like sex and I really liked cookies and I couldn't stick to a diet. Right. And so I didn't have a container or somebody like me to show me step by step, hey, you don't have to struggle with this. Let's just cut all the bullshit. You guys, you don't need to study or focus on anything fucking else. Throw all the other shit that you know out the window. While you're working with me, you're just going to focus on these things. You'll eat healthy, you'll exercise again someday, but it will be coming from a different place. It will be coming from a place of, I love myself, therefore I go for walks every day. I love myself. I want to have a long, flexible, fluid life. Therefore, I do yoga 3 times a week. It's not the, oh look, I missed my yoga class today. Oh fuck, I really should go to the gym. Oh fuck, I shouldn't eat that cookie. Oh God, I shouldn't eat after 7. Okay, I'm just gonna do intermittent fasting. It's a totally different experience. You will get your whole fucking life back. You will get your whole fucking life. I don't know how long you've been struggling with this, probably your entire life, like everybody else. Once you're done struggling with food, your whole life will change. And I don't know how it's going to look. It's going to be perfect for you. It's going to be how your particular soul wants to experience this life. That's how it's going to change. And I don't know what that is, but I know often people have an inkling. They have like a feeling, right? They're like, I've always felt like I wanted to be, but it'll feel like it feels kind of like, but I could never do that. Like, oh, I've always wanted to be like an author. I've always wanted to do what Brittany does and help people, or I've always wanted to move to a foreign country and leave everybody behind, but it would just feel like there's no fucking way I could do that. Those are usually the things that come up and that happen and that your soul is wanting you to step into. And once you clear out all this bullshit, all of a sudden it just feels like, oh, this is what I'm doing now. You don't have the resistance to that. It just feels like this is what I'm supposed to do, and I'm going to do it. So it's really cool. I mean, I love when we have students that stick around for months and months or for years and years, because I get to watch their transformation. I get to watch their journey and what they do with their lives. It's absolutely fucking radical. I just had a student join one of my Q&A calls, because we don't kick you off of those. She's worked with me, I don't know, for 4 years. She was like, hey, Brittany, I just want to let you know that I published my book this week. I would never have been able to do that without you. It hit like #1 bestseller on Amazon. I mean, it's incredible. So, I just know, oh, babies. Oh my God, you guys, I have like 7 babies. Listen to this. So this is again what I'm talking about, where I never know what is going to happen for you. It's always unique to you. So I have several instances of women that were trying to get pregnant. And I do remember, this is when I used to take phone calls and I would enroll people by talking to them on the phone. I remember this girl was like, I'm pregnant, or wait, no, oh yeah, I'm trying to get pregnant and I'm on all these hormones and I don't really know if I should, do this while I'm on the hormones. And I looked it up. I'm like, it's, not going to interfere. So this woman had not been able to get pregnant for years. She'd done all these hormones, all the things. Within 3 months, she got pregnant after she started tapping. Another student of mine, these are just the ones I know about. Another student of mine had her first baby when she was 21. And then her doctor told her, she was, I think, 42 at the time when she joined. Her doctor told her that she had PCOS or was infertile or something. So she, didn't ever think she could have kids. Her and her husband had been married for 15 years. They never used birth control of any sort. She was in the program for, I don't know, 6 or 7 months, and she got pregnant at like 44. So she has 2 kids that are 2 years apart, or sorry, that are 20 years apart. So anyway, I'm putting the code in there again for anybody that wants to find it. So anyway, those are, and then, I get emails from people that are like, oh my God, Brittany, I got pregnant. I never would have been able to. So I call it, we have like 7 or 8 thinking then babies. So, okay, who else has questions? That was a tangent that I went on. Hold on, let me look at what you guys are asking. Jennifer says, thank you. Julie says, I want to feel happy now. Aw, I need to get my whole fucking life back. Yes, Laurel. Yeah, Laurel, you joined, right? I remember hearing my sociology class, the lecturer say, smoking is not the problem, it is the solution. Food is not the problem, it's the solution. Maybe I'm not reading that right. It's been a long day. And the last meal I had was like 6 hours ago. Okay, good. I love that you guys, oh, yay, you guys are already making friends. I love to see that. Ingrid said, thank you so much, Brittany. I've already released a few cravings. I really have so much gratitude towards you. I'm excited for Thrive. I'm leaving the call. Hope everybody has a wonderful day. Okay, awesome, Ingrid. Yay. Yeah, you joined, I remember. Okay, looks like we got, yes, I will see you on the call. We have a live coaching call soon. I know I just did one, so it might be in like 2 weeks from now. Okay, I'm just checking to see. Okay, looks like we've got one more spot. Oh, Maureen and Barbara joined. Welcome, Maureen and Barbara. If you guys are still on, welcome. Okay. Cool. Okay. There's still a few of you on the call. If there's anybody else with questions, I'm happy to answer them, but I will give myself a limit just because I'm tired and I'm hungry. So if you have any other burning questions, please ask them now. And if not, I will jump off and see you guys in the students that joined. I will see you guys in the laser Q&A call. You'll hear from Sally. Keep an eye on your inbox. You'll get emails from us and you'll get a scheduling link so that you can schedule your first call with Sally. Okay, that will happen all very soon. Sally, you Voxer. Oh, good. Laura Voxer, Laura Voxer and Sally already. Awesome. You know what? We have people that take this that speak all different types of languages. One of the things that you can do is you can you can repeat it in your language. So you can hear the words that I say and you can repeat it in your language. But I have people that repeat it in English and it works just fine for them. Thank you, Brittany. It's been worth getting up at 4:30 in the morning to listen to this webinar. Ah, thanks, Margaret. That's such a nice compliment. I guess you're in Australia, if I had to guess. Laurel's so stoked. I'm so stoked to have you too. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you. Nikki, I hope you joined. I hope you're in the program because I would love to keep working with you. I know I'll be experiencing something profound with you at some point. I'm in the 6th week and need to prove to myself that I'll put the rubber to the road. Support does help. Yeah, 100%. It makes all the difference. Nikki said, I will join ASAP. Okay, Nikki, you better hurry because I think we only have one spot left. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for your nice comments, everybody. Okay, this was really fun. Let's see. I want to be jazzed, but feeling kind of numb and overwhelmed. Oh, I'm sorry, Nancy. Is that because you joined or is it because you're thinking about it? Yeah, well, I want to answer Nancy's question before I close up. You know, when people join, she's in. Okay. I remember, let me just tell you this will be my last final story. The day before I had a session with the therapist that explained to me that sexual trauma was causing my extra weight. I had never met this therapist before, and he didn't tell me that before our meeting. And I had worked with other therapists and I had worked with other tapping people before. So as far as I knew, this was just going to be a normal tapping session with a different person. But for some reason, I could not fucking stop eating for the whole weekend. It was excruciating for the whole weekend. I was eating my face off. And it was because there was a part of me that knew that this guy was going to solve that problem for me. And the reptilian part of my brain that thought it was holding on to this extra weight as a way so that I don't get sexually abused or raped again was fucking panicking. Okay. So it's also very common when you join to have a really strong reaction. You can get overwhelmed from the tech. You can feel, you can eat more. You can feel more triggered than you normally do. You can feel really pissed off at me. You can regret it. Some people feel really excited and are like, can't wait to get started. And other people have a really strong reaction. And I just want to offer that that it's that reptilian part of your brain that is being threatened and it just hasn't experienced the software upgrade yet. And we will get to it, we will upgrade it, we will calm it down, and we will make sure it knows that it's safe, and we will make sure it knows that it's safer to be a healthier weight as soon as possible. So you will be able to soothe that really quickly when you join the program. So don't worry. If that happens, that's actually a really good sign. It's a sign that this is going to work really well for you. Okay. So I just wanted to offer that story as some encouragement. And again, there's coaches, there's Sally, you've got your personal progress partner. We're here for you, absolutely. So you've got those 2 live calls with me. Britt, I'm concerned that I will miss calls as I'm working. Plan to retire at the end of March. How do I prevent this, or do I just follow your course? Oh yeah, that's no big deal. You can watch the replays. There's lots of different calls. The study groups happen at different times. We also have buddy calls. There's laser coaching calls with me. There's always a call that you can get on that's at a different time. So, mine are usually fixed, the ones for me. But again, if you can't come to the calls live, somebody will ask your question. Your question will get answered with somebody else asking it. So you can just watch the replays. I wouldn't let that hold you back. And then all the lessons are already pre-recorded, so you can listen to those at your own pace. So yeah. Julie just joined. Woo! Welcome, Julie. Yay! Amazing. Oh, I'm so glad you joined, Julie. I know that took a lot of courage. No, that took a lot of courage. I love how you guys are supporting each other without talking to my spouse. I know. You know what? Do you know how many emails I get from spouses saying, "What did you do to my wife?" And whatever you did, please keep doing it. I once had a VIP client. This is back when I was taking one-on-one sessions, and I was charging, I think at the time, like $30,000 for one-on-one sessions, for 12 one-on-one sessions. And she and I completed our 12 sessions, and she was talking to her husband about it. And she said something like, "Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing it. It's a lot of money." And he looks at her, he goes, "Why would you not keep going? Are you kidding? You are a completely different person. Have you seen yourself lately?" Like, he was so happy with the transformation that she had made. He was happy for her to invest another $30,000 just to keep working with me so that she continued to change, because he was experiencing such a different woman. So, not to say that your husband's going to have the same reaction, but I do always have husbands that are very supportive of this. So my husband says, "Give me 24 hours to make a decision to see if he can afford to do that." Oh, that's sweet, Nikki. Okay. Thank you for telling me that. I will hold a spot for you. Let's see. Yeah, Judy, we saw that you were charged twice. Don't worry, we're going to refund you that. That's really sweet, Nikki. And I will tell my team to hold a spot for you, and I will ask Sally. I'm sure Sally will say yes, but Sally will just have to take on an extra student, which I know. Sally, are you still there? She usually says yes. So yes, okay, cool. She said yes. So okay, cool. We have 16 spots. Yay! We have our group of people. I'm so excited. I'm so happy to see you guys. And I can't wait to connect with you. Please raise your hand and say hi to me on the next live laser coaching call, which you will have access to and you will have a schedule for somewhere in the group. It's $3,000 for me as I'm in Canada, but it's worth every penny if it helps. Thank you. Yes, it is. Absolutely, Julie. I agree. And I think a lot of our past students, most of our past students will agree as well. So, Margaret, your money's in crypto. Yeah, we don't accept crypto yet, but if you convert that, then we can work with you. Okay. All right, everybody. It's been so nice being here with you. Every workshop is so different. I know sometimes I know a lot of the times I tell the same stories, but it's always different with a different group. And I tend to teach a little bit differently each time, and I enjoy that. And hopefully you guys do if you come to multiple webinars like these. So I don't know how long it's going to take for us to get the replay out of this, but we will do that and send it to you. And I know we're going to offer an on-demand version of this that will be a different webinar that I taught that has some different techniques in it. So if you want to experience even more techniques, then watch the on-demand one. Okay. All right. Thanks everybody. Lots of love. Bye everybody.